I'm Zhou Yun, and today is the biggest day of my life. I'm 18, which means I get my one shot at the Lord Awakening ceremony. One shot. No retries. No, let me respawn and try again. If I mess this up, I become a sad statistic at family dinners forever. My parents and baby sister walked me to the center, and Dad did the classic, no pressure, son, speech, which is universally known to mean, there is so much pressure, son. My mom's hands were shaking around her water bottle like she was trying to make a smoothie out of pure anxiety. Inside, I sit next to a giant blue glowing ball, while everyone around me prays to the heavens for literally any piece of land. And I mean any piece. Just give me a plot the size of a bathroom, one guy begs. A bathroom. My brother is asking the universe for a bathroom-sized empire. Respect. When my number gets called, I march up like I'm heading into battle, dive into the glowing blue goo, and bam, I black out. Classic awakening ceremony fainting goo. Works every time. When I wake up, I'm floating in space. Like actual space. Stars everywhere. And then I see it. A huge, colorful planet just chilling in front of me like it's posing for a calendar photo. A robotic voice in my head goes, "Congratulations. You have obtained your one and only starting territory, Planet Zero. Total territory area, 10 billion square kilometers. Territory grade, SSS." I stare at this for a solid 5 seconds doing math I am not emotionally prepared for. 10 billion square kilometers. Earth, the whole planet I'm standing on right now, is only 500 million square kilometers. So basically, I just got handed 20 Earths in one blue goo nap. And the grade is 9 S's. Our strongest national hero, the literal pride of the country, only has an A-grade territory. I just unlocked a tier that doesn't even have a name yet because nobody's ever needed one. I'm shaking. Not because I'm scared, because I just became the proud, terrified owner of a cosmic-sized backyard and I don't even have a lawnmower. But there's no time to freak out properly. Once I officially step into my territory, a 7-day survival period starts. So I rush home first to tell my family the good news. Outside, my parents have been waiting for hours, watching other families celebrate or cry. My dad, sober for almost 20 years, sees me and instantly goes full dramatic movie dad, arms wide open, yelling my name like I just won an Olympic medal. I tell them I succeeded. Cue tears, hugs, and dad announcing we're buying beef and fish to celebrate, which in our family is basically declaring a national holiday. At dinner, my poor sober dad breaks his 20-year streak and gets wasted. Drunk dad energy unlocked. He keeps begging to know how big my territory is, and mom keeps swatting at him because she thinks if it's small, asking will hurt my feelings. So I decide to have a little fun. Guess, I say. 1000 square meters? My little sister guesses. Bigger. 10,000. Bigger. My mom, stunned. 10,000 is already huge. That's a government subsidy tier. Dad, drunk and patriotic, slams the table. Timothy, 100,000. My son is built different, bigger. Dad nearly falls out of his chair. Finally, I just tell them straight. It's an entire planet. 10 billion square kilometers. Silence. My little sister starts literally counting on her fingers like she's doing long division in real time. My parents just freeze, like NPCs whose dialogue tree ran out. They obviously think I'm joking, because what kind of lunatic claims to own a planet bigger than Earth at the dinner table? So to save them from a group aneurysm, I sigh and go, okay, fine. Real talk. It's 1.3 million square meters. Mom. Dad. Little sister. They have no idea I just downgraded myself from owns a planet to owns a large mall parking lot, just to keep their brains intact. My dad puts down his drink and looks at me dead serious. 1.3 million square meters? For real this time. For real. Silence. Then my mom just starts crying. Happy crying, apparently, because when dad teases her about it, she immediately denies it through tears like, I'm not crying. I'm smiling, you idiot. My little sister does the math in her head and gasps. Bro, that's enough for the top national subsidy. Yep. We're talking about the kind of subsidy where my whole family stops working forever and just becomes professionally rich. My mom immediately starts hunting for her phone like it's on fire. I have to tell teacher Huang right now. Meanwhile, across town, poor teacher Huang has been sitting at his desk all day, staring at his phone like a man waiting for his lottery numbers, while every other teacher in the office gets happy phone calls about their students becoming lords. He's getting nothing. Zero calls. The grade director even strolls over to comfort him in the most backhanded way possible, basically gloating that his class produced 7 lords today. Teacher Huang is dying inside. Then his phone rings. Zhou Yun's mom. The screen says. He answers, and the second he hears, 1.3 million square meters, the man straight up screams so loud the grade director nearly throws his own water cup across the room. Teacher Huang starts cackling like a maniac, yelling that I'm basically a top 3 lord in the entire country's history, and that he personally, not that sneaky grade director who suddenly wants to help, is filing my subsidy paperwork himself. This is his glory, and he's not sharing it with anybody. Cue Teacher Huang sprinting to the government office, casually saying, "Excuse me, I'm filing a national first-tier subsidy for my student," and watching an entire bureaucracy part like the Red Sea for him. 5 minutes later, paperwork, done. That afternoon, Teacher Huang shows up at my house with literally the city mayor's whole leadership crew in tow. My parents are losing their minds trying to act normal in front of VIPs who are weirdly chill and friendly, like we're all old buddies now. They hand me a fancy Lord Survival kit and a testing crystal, because apparently my word isn't legally enough. I have to go into my territory, measure it for real, and bring proof back before the subsidy gets approved. No pressure. Lies. Massive pressure. That night, I can't sleep, just turning this glowing crystal over in my hands, wondering what's waiting for me on an entire planet. Next morning, 7 a.m. I say bye to my family, link up with my territory. There's a flash of white light, dizziness, and boom, lights out. I wake up to the most adorable sound ever. Squish, squish, squish. I leap up in full defense mode, ready to fight for my life. Against a crowd of multicolored, jiggly, big-eyed jellies, just vibing, staring at me like I'm the most interesting thing they've seen all week. I scan one with my Lord Vision scanner thingy and get water slime. Rank F. Every single stat is a flat 1. Talent. Doesn't get hurt by water. Skills. None. Basically described as born to be bullied, too scared to fight back. Cool. My mighty empire's first citizens are anxious jelly cubes with the combat power of a sneeze. Then the system dumps a bunch of standard lord stuff on me. 10. Militia conversion talismans. Basically jelly recruitment cards. Shop access. A social network for fellow lords. The usual onboarding package. I decide not to waste my precious talismans on slimes yet, because let's be honest, recruiting a slime army is not exactly conquer the galaxy material. So I start walking through my insanely lush, plant-covered planet, and somehow the slimes just follow me, like a parade of bouncing jello cups. I stop, they stop. I walk, they bounce along behind me. It's ridiculous and weirdly wholesome, and I don't have the heart to shoo them away. Then suddenly they all freeze and hide. Slime instincts activating. I follow their lead and duck behind a tree too, and that's when I hear it. A deep, rumbling, HHHRR sound. Something is sleeping nearby. I creep closer and find a 3-meter-long bear with golden fur, just napping like it owns the place, which, fair, it kind of does. I scan it and nearly fall over. Profound Earth Bear. Rank B, actual stats, actual skills, a real threat, and a real opportunity. B rank? On a brand new Lord starting planet? That's basically unheard of. Most Lords are stuck with F, E, D rank fodder their whole early game. B rank creatures only show up on the planets of legendary, top 1,000 in the World Lords. Standing there, staring at a sleeping golden bear surrounded by my jelly entourage, one thought hits me like a freight train. Maybe, just maybe, I'm not just a lord. Maybe I'm about to become an absolute unit. Quick lore dump while I creep up on Sleeping Bear Boy. 300 years ago, in 2026, Earth got absolutely wrecked by monsters made of black smoke called Calamity Beasts. Guns stopped working because of some mysterious anti-gun magic. Rude. Humanity was losing badly, and then, out of nowhere, a giant stone tablet fell from the sky and gave people the power to become lords. Ever since, lords have basically been Earth's only superheroes. No gods showed up to save anyone. Just us, apparently. Cool, cool, no pressure. Anyway, Back to the bear. Go. I whisper yell, chucking a militia talisman at the sleeping profound earth bear. Sleeping creatures have weak defenses, so this is basically a free hit. The talisman glows, shrinks, and sinks right into him. Congratulations. You have successfully converted profound earth bear into a militia member. The bear blinks awake, stares at his own paws like he's questioning his whole existence, then looks at me like, "That's sup." I walk up and offer a handshake. He just calmly puts his giant paw in my hand like we've been best friends since birth. No fear, no hesitation, just instant bro energy. He nuzzles his big dumb head against me, and I'm already attached. You're my first buddy, and you've got a real derpy big guy energy, so I'm naming you Bear Bear. MRRR, MRRR. Bear Bear, fully on board despite understanding zero human words. Even my jelly squad shows up to hop around in celebration, vibrating with excitement like tiny rainbow cheerleaders. I'm thrilled. A B-rank monster, tamed with one starter pack talisman? On my first day, this planet is already cooperating way harder than expected. So naturally, I hand Bear Bear an axe and show him how to chop wood. And somehow, despite never touching a tool in his entire bear life, he picks it up like a seasoned lumberjack and swings at a tree. Thwack! The tree gets a small notch. The axe, top tier, government issued, Earth's finest craftsmanship, gets a chunk missing from the blade. I am shook. This is supposed to be premium equipment. What is this tree made of? I scan it out of pure suspicion. Green Plains fir. Rank C. Worth 20 gold at the shop. A regular-looking tree. Is rank C? On Earth, C rank wood sells for 6 figures. I start scanning everything around me. Rocks, flowers, other trees, and discover, in mounting horror/joy, that literally nothing here is below rank D. Most things are C rank. Some are B. A few are even A rank. This isn't a forest. This is a walking, growing, leafy gold mine. Suddenly the whole 9S rank territory thing makes total sense. It's not just the size. It's that every blade of grass here is basically a luxury item. Only problem. How do I even harvest treasure tier trees when my fancy government axe just rage quit on contact? Bear Bear, sensing my crisis, drops the axe like it's beneath him, roars, and just full-on slaps the tree with his bare paw. Tum! The whole tree shakes. He slaps it again. And again. Open palm bear smackdown. No weapons needed. Just pure B-rank bear fury. After about 30 seconds of relentless bear slapping, the tree finally goes, crack, and topples over. Nice work, big guy. I give him a thumbs up. Tool-less tree felling, courtesy of bare hands. Absolute legend. Now I've got premium lumber and 0 basic materials to actually build anything with. Using treasure wood for a regular hut would be like building a doghouse out of gold bars. So my brain goes straight to one place, the Lord's Network. Time to see if some other lord out there has boring, regular wood they're willing to trade, because apparently on this planet, boring is a luxury I don't have. I check the Lord's Network, and it's basically chaos. Everyone's either dying or crying, stuck on an island with literally one tree. Send help. My village is just old people. Is that a militia or a retirement home? My territory really is the size of a bathroom. How do I even develop that? So yeah, mostly disaster reports. I'm not here to chat though. I post my fancy C-rank tree like it's a Craigslist ad. Trading 1 Green Plains fir for basic F-rank wood. The chat explodes. And oh way, that's C-rank lumber. Bro, you're trading that away this early? Are you insane? Who cares? I'm offering 10 F-rank wood, 30 wood. Let's be friends. Sir, may I call you father? Within minutes I've got literally hundreds of friend requests flying in. People aren't dumb. Anyone casually tossing out treasure tier wood on day 1 is either loaded with resources or has 0 idea what they're holding. Either way, everybody wants in. I accept a guy named A10-BILLION, who offered 30 wood. We trade. Boom, my fancy tree for his regular wood, done in 2 seconds. He even slides into my DMs afterward like, hit me up anytime for wood deals, my friend, smooth businessman energy. Meanwhile, somewhere far away, A10-BILLION is literally sitting on a mountain of lumber, grinning like a man who just won the lottery, going, this A10-BILLION guy is either a total idiot or just absolutely swimming in resources. Either way, more treasure wood for me. Anyway, back on my planet. Bear Bear leads me to a small clearing, a luxury in this overgrown jungle of treasure trees. and I drop a blueprint for a militia conversion hall right there. Gold light, magic construction zone, the works. Now it just needs wood. And that job belongs to Bear, who flexes proudly before grabbing logs like he's been doing manual labor his whole life. Construction progress, 5%. Estimated time, 20 minutes. 20 minutes? That's insanely fast. But then again, Bear is rocking 26 strength at level 3. The stats really do all the heavy lifting here. Pun intended. My slime squad tries to help too. Bless their tiny gelatinous hearts. A dozen of them team up trying to lift one log, and fail completely. Bear watches this struggle, crosses his arms, and full-on smirks at them like the smuggest bear alive. The slimes droop in shame. Bear, I scold him, then go pet the sad little jellies until they perk back up and start bouncing around me again. They're useless in a fight, sure, but they're basically my emotional support blob squad. After 20 minutes, congratulations. You have successfully built Militia Conversion Hall. It even asks if I want to set it specifically to recruit more profound earth bears, since I already have one. Obviously, yes. A little wooden bear sign goes up over the door like a tiny HR department for recruiting bears. This is actually genius. Trading away that one fancy tree saved me a ton of labor and got my hall built early, which means I'll have a constant stream of bears showing up to join my workforce going forward. Most lords start with nothing and have to do everything themselves. I started with a B-rank bear and a bear recruiting factory. The snowball is officially rolling. And then the wind picks up. Hard. Trees bending sideways. My brand new hall creaking like it's about to fall apart. Slimes literally getting yeeted through the air by the gust. Bear immediately jumps in front of me, growling low toward the north like he knows something's coming. This isn't normal wind. Something big, and it's heading straight for us. A piercing screech rips through the sky, and a red dot shoots toward me faster than anything should legally be allowed to move. 1 second it's a dot. Next second it's directly above me, like teleporting, but angrier. Burning wind slams into us. Trees groan like they're filing a noise complaint. Bear digs all 4 paws into the dirt and still gets shoved back, carving deep trenches in the ground just from the wind. He takes the hit, so I don't have to. Absolute unit. Never forget it. But the real problem is perched on a tree less than 100 meters away. A massive bird, completely covered in fire-red feathers, staring directly into my soul. My whole body goes cold the second we make eye contact. I am, without question, not the apex predator in this interaction. I throw a scan at it because honestly, if I'm about to die, I at least want to know what killed me. Name, Solar Blaze Divine Bird. Rank, SSS. Level. Every stat. Skills. Every single stat is just question marks. That's not strong. That's scan failed because you are not worthy of this information. This thing is so far above me that my system literally refuses to compute it. For context, Earth's strongest known monster pet, owned by Earth's strongest lord, only hits S rank. The literal king of all the apocalypse monsters that nearly destroyed humanity for 300 years only reaches SS. And this bird, casually chilling on a tree branch 10 minutes after I moved in, is SSS. I am one really bad day away from becoming a smoking crater. Then the bird burps. I would like to repeat that. The terrifying, god-tier, reality-breaking SSS bird burps. And out comes a wall of fire that instantly turns an entire forest south of us into ash. Like, gone. Vaporized. The bird looks visibly relieved afterward, gives a satisfied little chirp, glances at me one more time. No malice, just mild curiosity, like checking out furniture. Then rockets off toward the west and disappears. I just stand there shaking. If that burp had been aimed 2 degrees to the left, I would currently be participating in this story as Ash. My slimes come bouncing back, a little singed but alive, and then the fire-type ones start freaking out, pointing toward the burned area like they found something amazing. You want me to go look over there? I ask. Squish. Universal slime language for, yes obviously, keep up. So Bear and I follow them into the scorched zone, which is basically a frying pan now. The closer we get to the center, the hotter it gets. Like, sweating through my clothes, ground feels like a stovetop hot. My fire slimes, immune to heat, skip merrily ahead like this is a spa day. Eventually they stop, start digging excitedly, and pull out a glowing red crystal like proud little archaeologists. I scan it because at this point scanning things before touching them feels like basic survival. Name: Solar Blaze Ember Crystal. Rank: S. Effect: one-time throwable. Deals 1000 fire damage per second for 10 seconds. Shop value: 200,000 gold. I do the math and immediately feel ill. Bear, tough as nails, way tankier than me. Would survive maybe 1 second against this thing. I personally would last roughly 0 seconds. This crystal is basically a pocket-sized apocalypse. I immediately shove it into my Lord Space storage like it's a bomb, because it basically is one. Then I look at my proud little fire slimes, practically vibrating with excitement, waiting for praise like puppies who just brought back a stick. Except the stick is a literal weapon of mass destruction. A good lord rewards good work, so I dump out random stuff from my survival kit. Lighter, flashlight, energy jelly, the works, and tell them to take their pick. They stare at the pile, completely stumped, eyes practically spinning in confusion. Then one fire slime locks eyes on the energy jelly like it just found its soulmate, reaches out a tiny limb, and nods firmly. Squish, yeah? That one. That's the one it wants. I unwrap an energy jelly and hold it out to the fire slime, mostly just curious what it'll do with it. The slime stares at it, studies it like it's defusing a bomb. Then, without warning, just yets itself onto the jelly and swallows the whole thing, wrapper included. Its little body wiggles like it's chewing, somehow. Then it spits the wrapper back out, jelly successfully digested. It lets out a satisfied little squish and starts glowing. The glow fades, and its wounds are just gone. I blink. That's a level-up glow. But slime's leveling up by eating snacks instead of fighting monsters? That's never been a thing in recorded history. So obviously, I scan it to confirm I'm not losing my mind. Level 4. It was level 3 10 minutes ago. It actually leveled up from eating candy. I need to verify this isn't a fluke, so I unwrap a second jelly. Except before I can even offer it, another fire slime Awakens it straight out of my hand like a seagull stealing fries. Fine. Science continues regardless of consent. That one levels up too. So I get greedy and feed 3 more jellies to the same slime in a row. By the end, it's sitting there bloated, hiccuping, visibly regretting its choices, but also now sitting at level 7. My brain is doing somersaults. Yes, slimes are weak. Every level only adds 1 stat, pathetic by monster standards. But the speed is the real cheat code here. 1 jelly equals 1 instant level. No grinding, no fighting, no risk. Just snack and ding. And energy jellies cost like $30 on Earth. $30 for a permanent stat point. Any other lord hearing this would have an aneurysm of pure joy. The only real limits are how much stuff I can haul in from Earth at once, and how many jellies a slime's stomach can physically hold before tapping out. Apparently the cap is 4, then they're stuffed and useless. I briefly consider mass recruiting every slime color in sight to turn them into an army of candy-powered grinders. But talk myself down. Priority right now is leveling myself up and unlocking buildings so I actually survive these 7 days. Plus I don't have unlimited jelly supply yet anyway. Plan stays the same, build housing. So Bear goes back to lumberjack duty. The man never rests. Chops another fancy tree. I trade it to Leon Kuan again for plain wood, and Bear, running on 0 snacks, pure dedication, builds my first house in 20 minutes flat. Congratulations. Residence built. Residence. Restores 5 health and 5 loyalty nightly. Capacity, 0/4. And then gold light wraps around me too. Congratulations on building 1 residence and 1 militia hall. You have leveled up to Lord level 2. New skill unlocked. Power sink. Lord space expanded. New blueprints unlocked. Lumber mill. Mine, granary. Level up baby. I check my stats immediately like a kid checking report cards. Level 2. Strength 7. Stamina 6. Intelligence 8. Spirit 17. Speed 7. 1 subject. Bear, 1 militia hall, 1 house. I tap on Power Sync to see what it does. Power Sync. Borrow stats from any subject under your command and apply them to yourself. Cooldown. 5 days. Finally, some actual self-defense that isn't. Stand very still and hope the apex predator is full. I immediately sync with Bear and feel a rush of raw power and health flood through me. I am, for the first time today, slightly less squishy. And right as I'm enjoying my temporary power-up high, my slimes come sprinting back in full panic mode. Something is crashing through the jungle behind them. And then 3 giant cauliflowers burst out of the trees. Turns out the cauliflowers aren't vegetables. They're some weird creature with arms and legs, just rocking a full cauliflower for a head and body. Nature's most unsettling salad bar. One of my water slimes screams and barely dodges a giant cauliflower mouth trying to chomp it. And that's when it clicks. These things are trying to eat my slimes. Absolutely not. Not happening. Those are my emotionally fragile jelly cubes, and I will not stand for cauliflower-based slime genocide. Bear, go! He charges in like a freight train, but the cauliflowers aren't intimidated. They start spinning like tops and attack first. Bear smacks one clean across the clearing with a single paw, but gets sliced up by the leaves in the process. His fur, previously glossy and black, is now decorated in fresh red stripes. My heart breaks a little. Bear, fall back. I pull out a long blade from my lord's space and charge the other 2 myself, because apparently being valedictorian also came with a side hustle in sword fighting, and today's the day that pays off. I spin my blade like a propeller and slash, clang. Their leaves harden like literal metal when they spin. But thanks to my earlier power sync borrow from Bear, I'm currently running 26 strength instead of my usual sad noodle arm stats. Before the sync, I might have just bounced off them uselessly. Now, I cut clean through both, green goo spraying everywhere. Then the cauliflower Bear punted earlier comes spinning up behind me for a sneak attack. I'm mid-swing, no time to dodge, bracing to just eat the hit with my 33 stamina and pray. Roar. Bear's shadow swallows me whole as he body blocks the attack. Boom. Dust everywhere. I spin around to find him pinning the cauliflower face first into the dirt, his arm now even more shredded. And somehow he's more fired up, not less. He stands up roaring and just starts pummeling it with his signature double paw combo, chain slap, until the poor thing goes from a 3D creature to a very flat 2D pancake. Still mad, Bear eyes the other 2 half-dead cauliflowers like he's not finished. That's enough, I say, stepping in. Weakened enemies have a decent shot at being converted into militia, and even though these things are weaker than Bear, their spinning leaf blade trick is genuinely useful. Bear, surprisingly obedient for a guy who was just rage pummeling something into 2D, immediately backs off and starts licking his wounds like nothing happened. I toss talismans at the 2 survivors. Congratulations. Cauliflower Beast successfully converted into militia. X2 scanning them. Cauliflower Beast. Rank C. Talent. Produce Master. 15% harvest yield from crops. Skill. Spinning leaf blade. Loyalty. 63. Lower stats than Bear across the board, but that farming talent is genuinely valuable. These 2 are basically free farm managers for whenever I build an orchard. Loyalty at 63 is a little shaky though. Anything under 60 risks desertion, and I'm pretty sure that's directly because their buddy got pancaked 5 minutes ago. Fair, honestly. The rescued water slimes hover around Bear looking grateful/concerned, then wander off to do whatever slime business they have going on. Not my citizens, free agents, no worries there. Now for the real problem. My workforce is Bear, bleeding, 2 cauliflower beasts, also bleeding, also 1 bad day from quitting, and me. Just me. Guess it's on me then. I sigh, grabbing the axe myself after patching everyone up. Then, grrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr his head, licks his lips sheepishly. He's hungry. Honestly fair. Chop wood, build 2 buildings, block hurricane winds, fight a cauliflower army. All on an empty stomach? I'd be growling too. I lay out my food options. Pick whatever you want, big guy. He pokes at everything with his paw for a solid minute. And picks nothing. Mouth turned down like a disappointed food critic. Apparently none of this meets Bear's refined palate. Seriously? You're picky now, I laugh. If I had endless options, sure, let the bear be fancy. But right now, beggars can't be choosers. Just try this for now, I say, unwrapping a compressed ration bar and holding it out. Bear, ever the loyal employee, chokes down the ration bar even though his face says, this is an insult to my taste buds. 10 bars later, he's got some energy back, but his appetite is genuinely terrifying. If I don't sort out a real food pipeline soon, even my generous supplies are going to vanish fast. I start strategizing. Bear wants fish and honey, so step 1 is finding a river. The cauliflower boys want veggies and fruit, and apparently slimes, which is a no from me, obviously. Slimes are off the menu permanently. Veggies, though? Doable. So I look at my biggest, strongest fire slime, level 7, the chunky one who's basically a candy-powered tank now, and toss a talisman at it. Congratulations. Fire slime successfully converted to militia. It loses its mind with joy, bouncing around me in circles while the other slimes watch with pure, unfiltered envy on their squishy little faces. I scoop it up and rename it Big Fire. Naming things is genuinely the best part of this job. The 2 cauliflower bros get names too, Veggie 1 and Veggie 2. Iconic. Inspired. I'm basically a poet. I send out my first official scouting party. Big Fire, great danger sense, can dodge trouble, plus Veggie 1 and Veggie 2, born foragers, since they literally eat plants for a living. Bonus, wherever they explore gets revealed on my Lord map automatically, so if they stumble onto a river, I'll know instantly. This solves the cauliflower food problem at least. Bear's diet remains pending. I roll up my sleeves and grind through the day, chopping trees with Bear's borrowed strength, trading wood with Leon Cohen again, stacking up materials. By evening, yes, this planet has a sun and moon too, very considerate of it. I've built another militia hall, this one for fire slimes, since Big Fire's basically opened the door for his friends, a lumber mill, a granary, and a second house. By the time I'm done, I am cooked. 0 stamina, 0 energy, and unlike stamina, energy only refills with sleep. Bear's paws are too wrecked to help anyway, so today's solo grind was just me, vibing with an axe. Then my little foraging squad rolls back in victorious. 2 full sacks of mystery fruit. Veggie food crisis, solved. Bear's fish and honey crisis, still very much alive. I briefly consider sending Bear out himself, but that means losing my best worker and my best fighter for who knows how long. Tough call for tomorrow me to deal with. And then, plot twist, my water slimes, the same ones I rescued from getting eaten earlier, casually wander back into camp like nothing happened. They walk up to Bear, scrunch up their little bodies, and PFFD, shoot golden liquid straight onto his wounded paws. And the wounds just heal instantly, like someone hit rewind on his injuries. Bear roars in pure joy, thumping his now perfectly fine paws against his chest like he just won an Olympic medal. Understandable. He spent the whole afternoon benched, watching me do manual labor while he just sat there being useless and sad. Veggie 1 and Veggie 2 see this and start wiggling their leaves excitedly too, clearly requesting the same treatment. The water slimes, holding 0 grudges about almost getting eaten earlier, heal them too. Good as new. Now I'm sitting here like, wait a second. Water slimes don't have a healing skill. I scanned them earlier, nothing. So this golden goo isn't something they're born with, which means they picked it up from somewhere out there. Somewhere I haven't found yet. And if there's a magic healing liquid source somewhere on this planet, I really need to find it. That's basically a free, never worry about dying button. I figure, worst case the slime just stares at me confused, so I ask out loud anyway if it can take me to the source of the golden healing goo. To my shock, it actually gets it. One of them grabs my pant leg and starts tugging, in the exact direction they vanished off to earlier. You want to take me there? Squish, squish. Emphatic slime yes. I'm baffled, because slimes have an intelligence stat of literally 1. These things should be running on the brain power of a houseplant. So naturally, I scan it, mutant water slime. Same garbage stats as every other slime except intelligence, 10. Excuse me? When I scanned all the slimes on day 1, every single stat across the board was a flat 1. This mutant definitely was not here originally. Either something out there is causing mutations, or new slimes have been quietly joining my fanbase. Either way, free upgrade, no complaints from me. But the sun's setting, and exploring an alien planet at night sounds like a fantastic way to die, so I tell the slime we'll go tomorrow. It actually seems to understand and backs off without a fuss. Smartest slime in the building, clearly. Night falls. I don't know if the local wildlife loves or hates light, so no campfires, too risky. Instead, I rotate guard duty between Bear and the Veggie brothers, and keep Big Fire close by since slimes have great danger sense and basically double as a furry/jelly smoke alarm. I barely sleep. New planet, real monsters, and a giant murder bird from yesterday still living rent-free in my brain. I doze off in short bursts and jolt awake constantly, paranoid the whole night. When the sun finally comes up, I stretch in relief and immediately spot a shadow moving in the northwest tree line. Bear, Veggie Brothers. On me. Except Bear, instead of going full attack mode, practically skips toward the shadow with pure joy on his face. Big Fire doesn't react with alarm either. Oh, I get it. Sure enough, the shadow steps into the light and reveals another profound Earth Bear, drawn in by my militia hall's recruitment beacon. And from how it's greeting Bear, these two clearly already know each other. Old buddies, reunited. It walks straight into the hall without me even asking, and pops back out fully converted. Congratulations. New militia recruited. Profound Earth Bear. Guess I'll call you Bear 2, I announce, because my naming creativity remains permanently capped at counting. Bear 2 gives a small, quiet nod. Much more reserved than chaotic, loud, lovable Bear. Same stats though, level 4, which basically doubles my combat power overnight. After a quick group breakfast, I round up literally my entire roster and follow the mutant slime out toward the golden liquid. I debate leaving someone behind to guard the base, but decide my militia's actual lives matter more than a few easily rebuilt huts. Full squad, full send. The trip takes almost an hour, slimes scouting ahead for danger, bears and cauliflowers as muscle on the flanks. Every creature we pass straight up flees before we even get close, which, after yesterday's apocalypse bird incident, feels almost suspiciously peaceful. Then I hear it, running water. Before I can even react, Bear and Bear 2's ears snap up and they bolt toward the sound. I crest a small hill behind them and find a river, about 5 meters wide, sparkling in the morning light. Bear does a victory roar and cannonballs straight in. Bear 2 follows immediately after. Seconds later, both bears resurface, each holding a fish in their paws, another fish clenched in their teeth. Bear faces aren't exactly expressive, but Bear's eyes are squinted into pure happiness slits. The man finally has his fish. I'm genuinely happy for him. Until I notice something off. These fish are glowing. Faintly, subtly, but definitely glowing. That can't be normal. I throw a scan at it immediately. I scan the glowing fish, and my brain short-circuits a little. Cool carp. Rank F. Talent. Constantly radiates freezing cold air, just because. This thing is barely stronger than my slimes. But it's ranked. And on this world, apparently, ranked is the difference between snack and national treasure. On Earth, ranked materials are basically unicorn tiers. Everyone wants them. Nobody has enough. Because they all come from lord territories, and most lords hoard everything for themselves. Then it hits me. If a random cold fish is ranked, what about all that random fruit Veggie 1 and Veggie 2 have been casually shoving in his sacks this whole time? I scan their loot. Every single fruit ranked. I nearly have a small breakdown. We've been eating premium alchemical ingredients like their gas station snacks. On Earth, this stuff could be turned into potions worth literally 10 times more. This is the kind of resource humanity needs to fight back against the apocalypse monsters, and my bears are just inhaling it raw. Bear and Bear 2, completely unbothered by my internal crisis, are already happily chowing down on the glowing fish like it's a Tuesday. I almost reach out to stop them, then stop myself and laugh. Earth is Earth. My planet is an absurd treasure chest the size of 20 Earths. I could let my militia snack on ranked goods literally every single day and still barely scratch the surface. So I grab a fruit from Veggie 1's bag myself and take a bite. Juicy, sweet, refreshing, genuinely incredible. Worth it. Let the bears eat well. Since we're here, I have the bears go full fishing mode. They're already fed and energized, so productivity is through the roof. In under 30 minutes, they haul in 200 fish, completely maxing out my recently upgraded storage space. Then, back to business. I follow my mutant water slime guide toward the actual mission, golden liquid. It points toward a cave halfway up a nearby hill. A cave? I confirm. Squish. Yes, confirmed. We hike up. Not a big hill, maybe 15 minutes, and arrive at the cave entrance. That's when I notice the river water flowing out of it has a faint golden tint. Definitely not sunlight. Something's actually in there. The slime confidently marches into the cave first, beckoning me forward. I follow, and the second I step into the dark, my guide slime leaps into my arms, shaking like it just saw a horror movie. Big Fire does the same, curling up tight behind me. That's not a good sign. Back up, I start to say. Too late. A flash of cold steel slices through the air toward my face. I jerk sideways just in time. It grazes past my ear by a hair. Before I can even breathe, another blade slashes from my left, aimed at my ribs. This time I see it coming and snap a kick out to intercept. Thunk. Contact. I knock the strike off course just enough to buy myself a window, and I bolt backward out of the cave. But the attacks follow. Two blades, flanking left and right like a pair of coordinated snakes, clearly not done with me yet. Roar. Bear and Bear 2 charge in to help, swinging hard, and instantly get sliced up without landing a single hit on whoever's attacking. Pure speed and skill difference. Brutal. Go. Retreat. I scream, pulling my own blade and stepping in just to buy them an opening. 3 exchanges. That's all it takes for me to understand. Whoever this is, they're weaker in raw power than my bears, but technically, miles ahead. A straight fight is a losing fight. With the light from outside the cave finally letting me actually see them, I clock the full picture. 2 thin, glinting rapiers, wielded by 2 humanoid figures wearing big wide hats and deep blue-purple robes, built like compasses, total, aristocratic fencing duelist energy. I trade blows with them just long enough to confirm Bear and Bear 2 have escaped, then bail myself. They chase for a few seconds, then stop, like something's holding them back from pursuing further. Lucky. Genuinely lucky. But also, deeply interesting. Scan. I scan the duo and almost drop my own sword. Water Swordsman. Rank A, Level 2. Speed. 30, basically double Bear's. Talent. 30% damage reduction just from being made of liquid violence. Skill. Creates water clones to gang up on you. A rank. While I'm out here barely holding a Lord title together with duct tape and slime support. Comparing stats, Bear actually edges them out in raw stamina. But everything else? Speed especially? They're just operating on a different tier. No wonder that fight felt like trying to punch a hummingbird. And here's the weird part. They never even used their actual skill. If they had pulled out water clones mid-fight, I genuinely don't think I walk away from that one. Once we're at a safe distance, I start piecing it together. My slime guide led me into that cave with zero hesitation, meaning as far as it knew, that cave was safe. My slimes have visited before without issue. So these swordsmen are probably new arrivals, likely drawn there for the exact same reason I was, the golden liquid. And that also explains why they didn't chase far. If the prize they're guarding is inside the cave, running off after intruders means leaving it unattended. Mystery solved, mostly. My guilty little mutant slime nudges my leg apologetically, clearly blaming itself for nearly getting me skewered. I crouch down and pat its head. Not your fault, buddy. You didn't know. Bear, meanwhile, is pounding his own chest and glaring at the cave like he's got unfinished business. The man wants round 2 immediately. I know, you're tough, I laugh. But not today. We head home. Technically the mission, golden liquid acquisition, failed completely. But honestly, I'm not even mad. That stuff is clearly rare and valuable, so a rough first encounter is the cost of doing business. And as a bonus, I've now got my eyes on 2 A-rank swordsmen as future recruitment targets. Speed 30 is just too tempting to pass up. They're basically already mine. I've just got to figure out how. We did at least solve Bear's food problem and stockpile a small mountain of premium fruit, so not a total wash. Back home, I redirect my second militia haul toward cauliflower beasts instead of fire slimes. Gotta maximize combat power fast, and cauliflowers punch way harder than jelly. I also need 3 more. Houses, another militia haul, and a mine to hit level 3, which unlocks the training ground, my next big infrastructure piece, since training lets militia level up without risking their lives in combat. Even A-rank water ninjas eventually get outclassed if my bears just keep leveling. I trade my last 4 fancy trees to Liang-kun for 120 more wood, bringing my total to 130, easily enough for the houses and hall. The mine, though, needs an actual or deposit, and I have 0 leads on where one is. So I leave Bear 2 behind to handle construction, and take Bear, the Veggie Brothers, and Big Fire out scouting, danger detection, foraging, and muscle all covered. 5 hours later, I come back completely empty-handed on the earth front. No mine sight. No fights either, somehow. Every creature we ran into just immediately noped out of the area the second they sensed us coming. Apparently, my squad's reputation is already terrifying enough to clear rooms without lifting a finger, which is flattering but also unhelpful for grinding levels. Staring at the sunset, I sigh. It's already day 2, and I'm still not even level 3. So much for finishing top of the new Lord leaderboard. I check the Lord's network just to see how everyone else is doing, expecting some mild comfort in shared suffering. First post I see, someone absolutely losing it. 2 full days in, searched their entire territory and found literally 0 creatures worth recruiting. Yeah, suddenly my problems don't sound so bad. I'm cackling reading the Lord's network. 0 recruitable creatures sounds rough, until the next guy shows up bragging about getting chased by zombies on day 1. Another guy's been hiding in a literal trash pile for hours, too scared to even use the bathroom because there's 20+ zombies wandering around. His words, not mine. And yes, someone immediately tells him, zombies don't eat poop, just go, which is somehow the most helpful advice in the entire thread. Then there's a guy who's been dangling off a cliff in an eagle's talons for almost 10 hours because the eagle apparently has 0 interest in actually eating him. It just keeps stealing his snacks every time he tries to eat. Someone correctly points out this eagle has unlocked treat human as personal ATM as a life skill. Meanwhile, other people are just straight up begging in chat. Someone send wood. I've been rained on for 2 days and my brain is basically soup. Will accept literally 1 F-rank militia, anything. Desperate. The general vibe of the chat is, everyone is suffering. Send help. Send wood. Send hope. I check the actual Lord rankings, because forum chaos is one thing, but data doesn't lie. 1. Me. Level 2. 2. Hua Xiaonuan. Level 2. 3. Liang Kuan. Level 2. All the way to 100, also level 2. So, good news. I'm currently 1 on the new Lord leaderboard. Bad news. So is literally everyone else who matters, since we're all tied at level 2, and there's probably a flood of unranked level 2s I can't even see. Staying 1 is going to be a fight. Worth the fight though, because first place gets a B-rank hero summon stone, basically a guaranteed hero, who comes with way better stats than regular militia and buffs whatever building matches their specialty. Early game, 1 good hero can make your whole base go from struggling to thriving. I fall asleep dreaming about heroes like a kid dreaming about Christmas presents. Day 3, morning. First thing I do, check my roster. Bear and Bear 2. Still just 2 bears, no surprise. But Cauliflower Squad jumped from 2 to 4. Looks like overnight recruits wandered into my hall. And Fire Slimes? Big Fire's gang exploded from 1 to 11. Makes sense. I dedicated a whole militia hall to them yesterday, and they've been lurking around me the whole time anyway. Free recruitment while I slept. Love that. 17 total militia greeting me at my front door in the morning. We're starting to look like an actual settlement instead of 1 guy and a bear. Today's mission, find that mine site, no excuses. With 10 extra Fire Slimes now, I split forces, send them in a wide scouting fan to the north, while I take my main squad, Bear 2, Cauliflowers, Big Fire, straight up the middle. Slime Scout, I respond to trouble. Smart logistics, if I do say so myself. Morning search, nothing. Afternoon, I redirect the fan south instead. 1:30 p.m., jackpot. One of my scouting Fire Slimes finds it. A mountain, about 100 meters tall, absolutely packed with visible or veins of every color. Resource jackpot. Except, plot twist, it's occupied. Crawling all over the mountainside. A swarm of rat-like creatures with dark gold fur. I scan 1, gold-eating rat. Rank C. Talent. Eats minerals for energy, and it hardens their fur. Skill, rapid bite attack. Description, cowardly, sneaky, goes wherever the wind blows politically, basically the diplomat of the rodent world. Hiding behind cover, I run the math. 8 stamina means 80 HP. Bear 2, and I all hit for 26 strength. If all 3 of us land a hit on 1 rat with no damage reduction, that's 81 damage. 1-shot kill, easy. My 4 cauliflower beasts hitting together do 72 damage in 1 volley. Not quite a kill, but close enough to seriously wreck one. A plan starts forming in my head. I pick a spot with fewer rats, hide my heavy hitters, Bear Bear, Bear 2, all 4 cauliflower beasts, and send out the world's most unwilling volunteer, Big Fire. Why Big Fire and not, say, Bear Bear? Simple. Every creature here has some survival instinct, and if I send something scary, the rats just bail instantly. Send the weakest, cutest, most non-threatening thing instead, and they might actually engage. Sorry, buddy. You drew the short straw. Big Fire is visibly terrified but goes anyway, because I asked nicely, read, ordered. The second he peeks out of cover, 3 rats lock onto him with 6 tiny bean eyes. He freezes. They just stare back. Standoff. 10 agonizing seconds pass. Then Big Fire, against every instinct screaming at him, takes one more hop forward. Bad move. Apparently in this world, weak thing dares to keep existing nearby, is interpreted as a declaration of war. The rats' faces go from mild curiosity to kill it instantly, and they swarm him at 20 speed. That's 20 times Big Fire's speed. He's basically a sitting target. But I'm not letting my candy-powered tank get squashed. Right as the lead rat leaps in for the kill, slash. My blade comes out of the bushes first, catching the rat midair and sending it flying. I scoop up Big Fire and bolt straight for the ambush point without sticking around to admire my work. The other 2 rats go full rage mode and chase. Their speed, 20, beats mine, 17, which means if this turns into a marathon, I lose. But I'm not running a marathon. I'm running bait duty, and the finish line is right where Bear Bear and the squad are waiting. I glance back mid-run to check the gap and immediately notice something off. The rat I sliced earlier is running fine. No blood, no wound, nothing. I definitely landed a hit. 26 damage should leave a mark, and yet it looks completely untouched. No time to overthink it. I hit the ambush zone and stop dead. The rats, thrilled, pile on for the kill. Roar. Bear Bear and Bear 2 erupt from hiding, paws swinging from both sides. Direct hits. All 3 rats sent skidding into a tree. One of them takes 2 hits back to back, and just gets up like nothing happened. No wounds. No bruising. Nothing. Realizing they're cornered, the rats try to bolt. Except the cauliflower squad is right there, leaves spinning like buzzsaws. Clang, clang, clang. Metal on metal sound effects. From a vegetable. Hitting a rat. Repeatedly. And still, no visible damage. I'm starting to sweat when suddenly one rat shrieks and finally splatters blood from its side. First actual wound of the fight. The other 2, seeing their buddy go down, panic scream, and somehow find an entire extra gear of speed, busting clean through the encirclement and vanishing into the brush. Don't chase, I call off the cauliflowers. I walk up to the lone survivor, the one that got abandoned mid-fight by its own friends, now curled up and shaking, looking absolutely nothing like the bloodthirsty little predator that was just trying to murder my slime 5 minutes ago. I throw a talisman. Congratulations. Gold-eating rat successfully converted to militia. New recruit acquired, but I'm not exactly thrilled. These things abandon teammates the second things go south. That's not exactly the loyalty profile I want on my battle roster. What does interest me is the defense. 8 stamina should mean roughly 80 HP, but these rats just tanked hit after hit with 0 visible damage. I checked the talent description again. Eats minerals for energy and hardens fur, so their armor isn't from stats. It's literally built from the rocks they eat. Which means, if they keep eating, or does their defense scale infinitely? Even with 0 fighting spirit, a creature that's borderline unkillable could be incredibly useful in the right situation. Tanking hits, guarding choke points, anything defensive. Slowly, my opinion of these cowardly little guys improves. Slightly. Time for phase 2. I have everyone, bears, cauliflowers, even the newly recruited rat, start building right there on the spot. Not a permanent base, just a forward outpost specifically to mass recruit every rat in the area before properly claiming the mine. With 50 leftover wood and everyone pitching in, 2 militia halls go up in under 8 minutes. Record time, courtesy of having actual hands, and paws, and leaf blades, to help. I set both halls to target gold-eating rats specifically, then basically just wait. The next morning, I check my roster immediately, buzzing with anticipation. Bears, 2. Cauliflowers, 6. Fire slimes, 15. Gold-eating rats, 21. 21 rats. Overnight, my little outpost basically became a rat magnet. And just like that, my army nearly doubled in size while I was asleep. Overnight haul. 2 more cauliflowers for more fire slimes and a wild 20 more rats. My rat army basically franchised itself overnight. The mine is mine, I announced dramatically, gathering literally everyone and marching to the rat outpost, where 20 freshly recruited rats are standing at attention waiting for me. Add them to the squad and roll up to the mountain like I'm leading a tiny, adorable invading army. The wild rats still hanging around the mine take one look at my procession and immediately back away, further and further, basically tripping over themselves to not be near us. Cowards to the bone, completely consistent with their personality file. I don't even bother chasing them. I just need the mine itself. Building requires 50 wood, and I'm sitting on 10. So I chopped 2 more fancy C-rank trees, peach blossom wood this time, fancy upgrade, and trade them to A10-BILLION for 60 plain wood. 20 minutes of construction later, mine, complete. Gold light explodes around me. Congratulations. You've completed 5 houses, 3 militia halls, 1 lumber mill, 1 mine, and 1 granary. Lord level up to 3. New skill. Leader promotion. Lord space expanded. New blueprints unlocked. Blacksmith. Fence, watchtower, school, training ground. And then, bonus surprise, the entire Lord network gets a server-wide announcement. Lord Zhou Yun has bravely and brilliantly reached level 3. The chat absolutely detonates. Hundreds of messages flood in within seconds. Finally, someone made it to level 3. Day 3 and I was losing hope. Dad? Someone's still trying the adoption angle. Bless them. Big Bro Yun. Drop the resource red packet. I am begging. Save me, Big Bro Yun. I am 2 seconds from death. I can't even read most of it because a notification pops up directly in front of me. Resource red packet. Once sent, every lord in the network can claim a reward. Send. I hit yes immediately. Free goodwill toward my fellow suffering lords. Plus I get a share too. Easy decision. I claim mine and get Gale Sword. Rank B. 20% strength, 10% speed. Skill. Gale Slash. A wind blade attack dealing 300% strength as damage, 10-second cooldown. A sword. A real, actual, magic sword. I am physically incapable of not loving this. With the buffs active, my strength jumps to 31.2, and Gale Slash hits for roughly 93.6 damage, meaning a single clean hit could seriously wreck a water swordsman's 260 HP. The only catch, actually landing a hit on something with speed 30 while I'm sitting at 17 is still a nightmare. Last time I dodged those guys by sheer luck and adrenaline. I'm not betting my life on repeating that miracle. But their attack power isn't actually that scary, roughly on par with bears. Which means if I can just pin one down long enough, even briefly, I can win. And conveniently, I now have 21 nearly unkillable rats whose entire identity is tank hits and don't die. Yesterday, a single rat survived multiple hits from me, bear, and the cauliflowers combined. This plan is basically writing itself. I rally literally everyone and head back toward the cave. Bears, cauliflowers, slimes, and a small army of indestructible rats in tow. The group's so big now that nothing in the forest even dares show its face. My slimes are thrilled, since completely empty and silent forest is basically their idea of paradise. On the way, I try to grab more wood from A10-BILLION for all my new blueprints. Except this time he declines, claiming he's running low himself. Suspicious timing, but I don't push it. Plenty of other lords out there with wood to spare, and once the survival period ends, an actual auction house opens up anyway. So I open the Lord network instead, intending to ask around for materials, and get hit with a wall of gratitude messages instead, all directed at me. Thank you for the red packet, brother. Yun, I finally have a militia member, got an E-rank serrated beast. Appreciate you. Pulled a super soldier serum, Big Bro Yun. You're a legend. That is it just me who got a C-rank invisibility cloak? LOL, love you Yun. Bro, I've been tortured by a brain-dead eagle for 3 days, and I just pulled a glider. I'm free. I love you, Zhou. Yun. Pulled a skill book, Fireball. Big Bro Yun. Anything you need, just ask. I owe you. I post in the network, looking for steady, large-scale F-rank with supply. We'll trade C-rank green plains fur, Chaos. Immediate chaos. A legend appears. Catch him. Big Bro Yun is here. Wait. Is this the Zhou Yun from our school? The top student? Yo, it's our classmate? Yun, carry me. It's me. A10, how long till you hit level 5? Can you make it before the survival period ends? Bro, that's basically impossible. Nobody's ever pulled off a level 5 red packet this early in recorded history. Excuse me? You doubting Big Bro Yun. Fight me. Stop being negative. Just because you can't doesn't mean Yun can't. I read maybe 2 lines of this before tuning it out completely and switching to friend requests instead. Most are useless. Old classmates I barely remember hitting me with. Hey, it's your old buddy. Add me. I went through 12 years of school being laser-focused on becoming a lord. I don't actually have old buddies. Sorry, old buddy. Then one request catches my eye. Unlimited F rank with supply. Any quantity. Bold claim. I accept immediately. The guy, Muyu, messages right away, thanking me for the red packet. He pulled an E-rank serrated beast, apparently great at logging, and offers to supply me as much wood as I need. Unlimited, huh? Turns out, unlimited means I have a wood-chopping monster that works non-stop. Not, I have a warehouse of wood lying around, slightly less exciting, but still useful. I ask how fast his beast works. 20 wood per hour, running 24/7, fueled entirely by or instead of food, and apparently it gets even faster with higher quality ore. Sounds suspiciously similar to my rat's hole, eat rocks, get stronger, gimmick. Interesting parallel. I ask about trade terms, expecting a price. He says it's free, no charge. Because of my red packet, he says, this is the least he can do. I push back. That's not sustainable. Let's actually trade something. But he insists, basically saying my one red packet jump-started his entire game, and this barely scratches the surface of repaying that. I'm now mildly trapped in a politeness standoff I clearly can't win, so I cave and order 100 wood to start. Crisis solved. If I'd had to keep relying on chopping down my own trees, I'd be burning premium C-rank lumber on basic buildings, which is financially unhinged. Now I've got a real wood pipeline going, almost as good as my deal with Liang Kuan used to be. Back to the main mission, storm the cave, capture the water swordsman, and finally claim that golden healing liquid. I'm feeling good about this. 80% success rate in my head, mostly thanks to my rat army's ridiculous tankiness. And the other reason I'm feeling confident, my new skill, leader promotion. Leader promotion, promote any subject to leader of their species. Grants 3 to all stats, plus leadership ability to coordinate their species more effectively in battle. The stat boost is nice, but the real value is leadership. My militia roster is growing fast, and managing every single unit individually is becoming a nightmare. With species leaders in place, I can just give general orders and let them handle the details. Way more efficient, and battle coordination gets sharper too. I hand out promotions immediately. Bear leader, obviously. Veggie 1 cauliflower leader. Big fire slime leader. And the rats get a new leader I name. Old Gold. Why old and not little? Because these rats are walking cowardice incarnate, and frankly, I'm hoping the name alone nudges them toward being a little more mature and steady. Does naming logic actually work like that? No idea. Doesn't matter. Old Gold it is. 3 hours of travel later, we're back at the cave. Before going in, I lay out the battle plan. Old Gold, your rats hold the front line. Fall back if it gets too rough. Veggie 1, your cauliflowers flank from the sides once the rats engage. Bear 2, you two are with me, we go in on my signal. Big Fire, your slimes stay outside on watch. We'll bring good news. A chorus of confirming squeaks, roars, and leaf rustles answers back. I grin, raise my hand, and give the signal. Move out. My rat squad charges in first, full confidence, because I told them, only 2 enemies, easy. 2 enemies, who's scared of 2 enemies? Famous last words. The cauliflower team follows right behind, and I'm about to step in with the bears when I hear clashing metal echo from inside. And before I can even process that the swordsmen are clearly still very much present and very much winning, Old Gold's panicked rat face comes bolting straight at me. He's trying to run. Get back in there. I boot him right back toward the cave entrance. If my own rat leader bails, the other 20 rats are going to follow instantly, and my entire plan collapses without a front line. He hits the ground, and still tries to scramble past me. That's it. I plant a foot on him, press my Gale sword to his throat, and go full intimidating boss voice. Get back in there and fight, or I end you right here. That finally short-circuits his survival instincts in the right direction. He squeaks pathetically, and, watching their leader get threatened at sword point, the other rats freeze up too. Nobody wants to be next. I lift my foot, eyes still locked on him, fully prepared to follow through if he flinches again. Cowardice, sure, I get it. But there's a line. Thankfully, Old Gold makes the right call. A few rat chirps to his squad later, and they all charge back into the cave, the rest following with only minor hesitation. I march in with Bear and Bear 2 right behind. And the moment my eyes adjust to the dark, I see absolute carnage. All 6 cauliflower beasts, down. Beaten. Out of the fight already. That fast. We weren't even gone that long. If I hadn't dragged the rats back in, this entire mission would have collapsed before I even got through the door. The rats rush in to fill the gap, but there. Basically the second wave of the same beatdown. The swordsmen weave through them at speed 30 like they're not even there, and the rats can't land a single hit. Only their rock-hard fur is keeping them alive at all, since the swordsman's actual attack power isn't anything special. It's pure speed carrying the fight. One rat finally breaks under pressure, shrieks, and goes flying. Not badly hurt, but clearly done for the day, curled up shaking. 2 more drop out right after. That's my opening. I draw my sword and lunge, perfectly timed right as the rats clear out, like a flawless tag team handoff. Dot, and hit nothing. Air. The swordsman reacts in time anyway, because of course it does. Bear and Bear 2 pile in next, paws swinging, also nothing. Too slow. The swordsmen actually get comfortable enough with their rhythm to start counterattacking, trying to trade blows directly, which is terrifying, because if this turns into a straight slugfest, my bears lose badly, possibly fatally. So I do the one thing I have that they don't see coming. Gale Slash. A crescent of pale green wind energy rips out just as a blade is about to open Bear's throat. The swordsmen dodge, barely, but it still clips both of them, drawing blue blood from a hip and a shoulder. Yes, contact. Quick math. 26 stamina equals 260 HP, plus their 30% damage reduction puts effective HP around 372. My Gale Slash, boosted to 31.2 strength, hits for 93.6 damage. Land that hit both with 1/ trick 3 times, and they're done. Except, cooldown. Of course there's a cooldown. And now that they've been burned once, both swordsmen turn their full attention on me specifically. Swords flash. I throw myself backward as both blades crash into the rock wall right where I was standing. This is the part where I have 0 stat advantage and 0 technical skill advantage. My only edge is reading their micro-movements just barely fast enough to dodge a half-second before the strike lands. It's mentally exhausting, and I genuinely don't know how long I can keep doing it. Old Gold, I scream, sparing just enough focus to yell. Because somehow, despite me and the bears jumping in, the rats had just stopped. Frozen. The shout snaps him out of it. He scrambles up and gets his squad moving again, easing the pressure off me just enough to breathe. 10 brutal seconds later, I spot my window again. Gale Slash, direct hit. Confirmed. One more like that and they're finished, I think, heart pounding. And that's when both swordsmen suddenly go still. Their bodies shudder. And then, one by one, identical copies of themselves start stepping out of thin air. Mirror Flower, Water Moon. The actual skill. The one I was hoping they'd never use. Hitting them must have flipped some. Okay, now we're serious. Switch. Because suddenly 20+ identical, indistinguishable water swordsmen attack at once. My already thinning rat squad gets wiped out in under 2 seconds. Just completely overwhelmed, no chance to even react. Then all 20-something blades turn straight toward me. I've barely survived 2 of these things working together. 20+, all at once. I am, in no uncertain terms, about to die. And then, Ruhr. Bear throws himself directly into the swarm. No defense, no plan, nothing but raw fury and bare paws against razor-sharp swords. Within seconds his whole body is shredded with cuts, but he's also scattering swordsmen left and right, because the water clones don't have the same HP as the real ones, and his hits are actually landing. His health bar drops below 10%. He is 1 hit away from death. Bear, run, I scream, But he doesn't. He just keeps swinging. His sacrifice buys me just enough room to survive with only 2 grazing hits instead of a fatal one. Then another roar. Bear 2 crashes in from the flank, clearly inspired by his brothers. Fight to the death. Energy, going full berserker as well. I use the split-second opening to flank with him, slashing through 6 clones in rapid succession, adrenaline running so hot I barely register my own movements. Then I swing at clone number 7. Clang. Solid resistance. Not a clone. The real one. My instincts scream, back off now, and I throw myself backward, too late. A thin blade darts straight toward my heart, like it has a personal vendetta against my continued existence. Then a massive black shadow slams into the swordsman from the side, tackling it to the ground. Bear. Again. Sub. 10% health, body covered in wounds, and he still throws himself in front of me one more time. Meanwhile, Bear 2 takes a blade straight through the body just to clamp down on the second real swordsman with both arms, his health dropping to a number I can barely even read anymore. This is it. This is the window they bled and nearly died for. My Gale Slash has 2 seconds left on cooldown. I don't have 2 seconds. I close the distance the old-fashioned way, sword in hand, screaming. Bear's pinned swordsman has -1 strength compared to it, even with his leader bonus, and he's bleeding out fast. He can't hold this for long. Bear 2's even worse off, arms shaking, weapon literally piercing through him, barely keeping his grip. If I don't act this second, both my bears die. Old Gold. Attack. Now. Sword already swinging. I land hit after hit on Bear's captive, draining its health fast, but it's only one target. The other real swordsman and its 5 remaining clones are still loose, and I physically cannot fight everything at once. That's when Old Gold, visibly terrified, visibly torn, makes his choice. He screams and charges straight at the swordsman pinned under Bear 2's failing grip. With their leader finally committing, the rest of the lightly wounded rats swarm in right behind him. Bear finally loses his grip and gets kicked clear across the cave, but it's enough. My blade drives clean through the swordsman's stomach the instant it's freed, and I immediately throw 2 talismans, 1 at each. Congratulations. Water Swordsman successfully converted to militia. X2, I don't even get a chance to celebrate. I grab the nearest one by the collar, now technically MY soldier, capable of understanding me, and demand, "Where is the golden liquid?" It points deeper into the cave without hesitation. I sprint that direction and hit a fork in the path. Right side, wider, with daylight bleeding in. Left side, narrower, but glowing faintly gold. Left, obviously. A short walk later, I find it, golden liquid dripping steadily from a stalactite into a bowl-sized hollow below, already half full. I fill 2 vials as fast as my hands will move and sprint back to Bear 2, who's barely breathing at this point. No time to be careful about where I pour it. I just dump the whole vial over him. Golden light flares, and his health rockets back up almost instantly. I do the same for Bear, who's in nearly as rough shape. He sits up immediately and shoves his huge head straight into my chest, practically purring. Bear 2 scoots over right after, giving me the exact same needy, "Me too," eyes. Ha. I just wrap both of them in a hug, 1 arm each, completely wrecked emotionally and physically. Looking back, the rats, my supposed main tanks, completely choked at the start and nearly collapsed the entire plan. If Bear and Bear 2 hadn't gone full suicide mode to save everyone, I genuinely might have died in that cave. And during the survival period, dying means losing my lord status entirely once revived back on Earth, something I am absolutely not willing to risk. Then, gold light, everywhere. Bear levels up. Bear 2 levels up. Then the swordsman. Then the rats. Even the long-defeated cauliflowers, somehow, level up too. Apparently surviving a near-death group experience counts as excellent XP. After patching everyone up with the rest of the golden liquid, I finally get a proper moment to actually examine this stuff scientifically instead of just dumping it on dying bears. Healing abilities aren't rare, sure. Plenty of strong lords have heroes or militia with healing skills. But this? Something that heals instantly without being tied to any actual skill, ability, or creature. I've genuinely never heard of anything like it. Curious, I throw out a scan. I scan the golden liquid and just freeze. Name, Fountain of Youth. Rank, SS. Effect: heals all internal and external injuries. Every 10 grams absorbed adds 1 year to your lifespan. Shop value: 1,000 gold per 10 grams. I am holding immortality juice. SS rank: heals literally everything and extends life. On Earth, our best and brightest in every field eventually just run out of time. Even the strongest lords defending humanity, national heroes, absolute legends, are pushing 80 years old, their bodies wrecked from decades of fighting calamity beasts, and no medical team on the planet can stop the clock from running out. And I'm just standing here holding 2 vials of, actually, never mind, time isn't real, potion. My hands are shaking, genuinely shaking. Because if the description is accurate, I definitely overreacted earlier and just dumped entire vials on my bears when probably 10 drops would have done the same job. The financial trauma of wasting immortality water on flesh wounds is real and ongoing. Back at base, Muyu's promised 60 would arrives right on schedule. I immediately put everyone to work. Level 3 unlocked 5 blueprints: blacksmith, fence, watchtower, school, and training ground. Fence and watchtower can wait. The other 3 are priority. Training ground lets militia grind XP without risking death in combat. Blacksmith forges weapons and armor to upgrade everyone's combat stats. School is weirder. It teaches traits, basically minor passive bonuses, better logging, better forging, that kind of thing. Though at level 1 the bonus is honestly kind of pathetic, 2%. The real value kicks in once I get an actual hero to teach there. Students can pick up a weaker version of the hero's own skill, which scales nicely with more students. Since training ground and blacksmith both need 80 wood, way more than basic buildings, and I only have exactly 80 total between Muyu's shipment and leftovers, I can only build one today. I pick training ground. Bear, predictably, grabs lumber first like he always does. The man has never once hesitated to help. Day 1 loyalty, unmatched work ethic. Bear 2, both swordsmen, and all 6 cauliflowers join in right after. Even my fire slimes pitch in under Big Fire's direction, hauling wood despite having the raw strength of a sneeze. Old Gold and the rats, meanwhile, get sent to the mine to gather ore, necessary fuel for the future blacksmith. On the walkover, Old Gold looks visibly depressed. Everyone else gets to stay at base near me. He's the one getting sent away. He can probably sense I'm not exactly his biggest fan after the cave debacle. Notice, gold-eating rat leader's loyalty has dropped by 11. Current loyalty, 61. I see the notification and don't really care. After watching him nearly bail twice in that cave, my opinion of him is pretty much locked in. If loyalty keeps dropping and he eventually runs, fine. I'll just promote a new rat leader. After that fight, I've basically written off the rats as anything beyond mining labor. Disappointing, but manageable. An hour later, training ground, done. Blacksmith's on hold until more wood shows up. With a few hours of daylight left, I redirect everyone to food gathering. Produce stocks are fine, but more storage never hurts, and the bears have officially cleaned out the fish supply. No surprise, given how hard they've worked. By nightfall, lying in bed, my brain refuses to shut off. The Fountain of Youth is incredible, but it's stuck far from base, near the cave. The river, also far. The mine, over an hour away too. Everything important is scattered, and I have 0 fast travel options. If I had a flying militia member, logistics would be so much easier, I think. Speaking of which, why have I only seen 1 flying creature this entire time, and it tried to incinerate half the forest? Weird. I pull out a vial of fountain water and just stare at it. The healing part is honestly the least impressive thing about this stuff, I mutter to myself. I really need to find something, ideally a hero, with actual healing powers, so I'm not burning immortality juice on flesh wounds. Tomorrow's to-do list keeps growing. Collect, or from the mine, hopefully use Muyu's next wood shipment to finally build the school and blacksmith, and after that, watchtowers and fences, since apparently I need those just to qualify for level 4. Feels like progress is kind of slow, I think. Eyes finally getting heavy. If I just had more wood, I could hit level 5 faster. And then maybe, just maybe, I could actually take the 1 spot on the rookie leaderboard. And with that hopeful, slightly delusional thought, I drift off to sleep. While I'm asleep, the Lord Network is absolutely thriving without me. Anyone awake? Let's chat. Can't. Exhausted. Going to sleep. Sleep? It's barely night. You grandpa. Right? Let's party. Come on. I survived a D-rank steelhead boar today. Nearly got rammed to death. Wait. D-rank. You're alive and talking, so you tamed it? Hee hee. Got lucky. Day 3 and you've got a D-rank already? Meanwhile, I'm out here struggling. My own failures are scary, but my friend succeeding is somehow worse. Well, there goes my sleep schedule. Anyway, has anyone gotten Yunbro to accept their friend request? I've sent like 30. Same. 0 luck. Me too. Oh, the cold, mysterious type love that. Ugh. Women. Hey, he's got to be lurking in here somewhere, right? I'm 18, female, 167 centimeters, decent face, no relationship history, looking for a boyfriend like Big Bro Yun. That last line gave the whole game away, sis. What? Brave people get rewarded. Let me try too, just in case he's watching. Within minutes, the entire network turns into a dating app comment section, just flooded with self-introductions from random girls hoping I'm scrolling. Meanwhile, somewhere else entirely, Liang Kuan sits on his bed glaring at his phone, fist clenched. I literally gave you wood, and you used it to get ahead of me? No more handouts. Next time, the one spot is mine. Morning of day 4. I wake up to a wood delivery notification from Muyu, 200 logs. 200. Bro is really running this beast 24/7, huh? I mutter, genuinely impressed. Couldn't have come at a better time. Without it, all my construction was about to stall completely. I check my roster next, hoping for good news. Bears, cauliflowers, fire slimes, no change. Swordsmen, no growth either, since I didn't have wood for their haul yesterday. But the rats? 21 jumped to 43. Doubled overnight. I'm not thrilled though. The cave incident is still fresh. Trust issues established. Whatever, let's go check on the mining situation, I sigh, rolling out of bed. I'd assigned the school and blacksmith construction, each needing exactly 100 wood, which I now have perfectly enough for. Toei Shui, my newly promoted water swordsman leader, and Veggie One's crew, then headed to the mine myself with Bear 2, and Big Fire. After an uneventful hour-long walk, I arrived to find Old Gold shouting orders, directing not just the original rats, but all 22 newly converted ones too, already fully integrated into the work crew. This catches me off guard. Bear, Veggie 1, Big Fire. None of them act independently without a direct order from me. Old Gold, on the other hand, took yesterday's go mine instruction and apparently just kept running with it overnight, expanding his authority over brand new recruits on his own initiative. That's unexpectedly proactive. For a creature I'd basically written off as a coward, this is a pleasant surprise. A leader with initiative is a genuinely good thing, regardless of species reputation. Old Gold spots me and sprints over, squeaking and gesturing rapidly. I can't understand rat speak directly, but thanks to the Lord Leader bond, I somehow just get it. You want me to come look at something you mined? Squeak. He leads me north through the mine to several massive piles of sorted or organized neatly by type. I reach toward one pile, and it dissolves into light, vanishing straight into my lord's space. You collected white ink stone, D-rank, X104, D-rank, or, in bulk, that fast. More piles follow, crimson blood copper, D-rank, X76 refined iron, F-rank, X603 azure crystal, B-rank, X39 white unicorn silver, C-rank, X50 768 pieces of ore. Total, including 39 pieces of B-rank material, genuinely high-tier stuff by any standard. Old Gold, that's incredible work. I say, completely sincere this time. He freezes at the praise, and then just starts sobbing. Big, ugly rat tears. Notice, loyalty 20. Current loyalty, 81. A 20-point jump. From one compliment? I'm stunned. Before I can even process it, he's already sprinted off, back to directing his crew with noticeably more energy than before. Huh, maybe I judged him too harshly after the cave fight. Turns out the guy just needed someone to actually notice his effort. Watching or stream out of the mine nonstop, I think of Muyu's earlier comment about his logging beast getting faster with better ore. I package up 5 pieces of B-rank azure crystal and send them over with a message. See if these are any use to you. Muyu replies almost instantly to my offer of, or, B-rank ore. 5 pieces? Yeah. I say. You can use it, obviously. Then take it. Wait, you're seriously giving this away? You're okay with that? Better mining for your beast helps me too in the long run. LOL. Then I'm not gonna say no. She accepts the 5 azure crystals immediately. I nod to myself, satisfied. I genuinely appreciate that she doesn't drag things out or play games. 5 B-rank crystals would be a treasure chest for most lords, but for someone sitting on an entire planet's worth of resources, it's basically pocket change. Mostly I'm just paying her generosity forward. Relationships only last if there's give and take both ways. Right after closing the app, another message pops up. Moo you again. Honestly, you kind of give off dumb energy. I blink at my screen, genuinely confused. I just gave you premium, and your takeaway is dumb? Do I really come across that way? Meanwhile, somewhere on a totally different world, a pig-shaped creature with an actual chainsaw growing out of its head is sawing through trees with impressive dedication. Nearby, a girl in a white dress sits on a tree branch, legs swinging idly, staring at her unanswered messages with a small smirk. Calling you dumb and you just agree? Wow. She wrinkles her nose. Cutely dumb, though. Back at the mine, I'm casually watching the rats work when several of them suddenly bolt out of the tunnel screaming in panic. Old Gold, predictably, gets furious, barking at them to get back to work. He hasn't forgotten that his reputation as a coward is the exact reason I soured on him. But this time, the fleeing rats refuse to budge, babbling frantically, and more keep pouring out of the tunnel right behind them. Old Gold's expression shifts fast, not annoyed anymore. Worried, because whatever they're describing isn't ordinary, rats being cowards, behavior. He rushes over and reports to me directly. The newly excavated section of the mine has suddenly spiked in temperature, and something powerful is living down there, something with what they're calling dragon presence. My brain does 2 things at once. Part of me panics, because if there's a monster down there, mining is officially paused until it's dealt with. The other part of me lights up like a Christmas tree, because dragon presence? In all of recorded history, nothing dragon-adjacent has ever been weak. If I can tame this thing, my power level just skyrockets. Take me there. Now, with Old Gold pushing them forward, the terrified rats lead the way despite clearly wanting to be anywhere else. The tunnels are roomy enough for rats, but a tight squeeze for the bears, who basically have to shuffle through sideways. After a dizzying number of turns, the path suddenly widens, 5 or 6 times bigger, and the temperature spikes hard. The guide rats start shaking visibly. Old Gold reports we're less than 50 meters from the target now. I look at my trembling rat escorts and don't force them any further. I step up to lead myself. Except Old Gold cuts in front of me first. No words needed. The message is clear. He's leading, not me. His whole body is shaking from fear, but his steps stay steady and forward. Okay, I take it back. All the way back. This rat is not a coward. This rat just walked toward an actual dragon while terrified out of his mind. That's not cowardice. That's bravery, full stop. Heavy, rhythmic breathing echoes ahead, something sleeping. I signal everyone to go quiet. One more bend in the path, and there it is. 5 meters long. A head the size of a wrecking ball. Thick limbs. Entirely covered in deep red scales. Bear is already a big guy, but this thing dwarfs him several times over. While it's still asleep, I scan it immediately. Crimson Flame Earth Dragon. Rank A, Level 1. Strength 31, Stamina 50, Intelligence 16, Spirit 17, Speed 24. Talent. Gains a scaling shield by consuming fire type or skill. Crimson Flame Domain. Burns enemies within a 3-meter radius continuously. 50 stamina. That's insane for an A rank. Compared to the Water Swordsman, this thing's stats are just better across the board, and it's only level 1. Whatever it grows into later is going to be an absolute monster. I am, predictably, extremely tempted. It's asleep, perfect window. I throw a talisman immediately. The gray light wraps around it, and instead of sinking in, it explodes outward violently. The conversion fails. SNRRKK, the dragon sneezes, and its massive eyes slowly creak open. Oh no, my stomach drops as I stare at the now fully awake dragon. If I had a choice, I would not be fighting this thing right now. It's already got insane stamina, and that growing shield Talent means its actual tankiness is a mystery box I really don't want to open the hard way. Plus, my power sync is still on cooldown, so I'm stuck running base stats. No borrowed swordsman speed to save me here. I'm hoping, against all evidence so far in this story, that this dragon might just be the chill type and let us leave. It is not the chill type. It roars, and the entire cave floods with blinding red light, ancient runes flickering across every surface. The air itself turns into an oven. Every breath feels like inhaling fire. Domain attack. Fall back, I scream, retreating immediately. But it doesn't let us leave. For powerful legs close the distance in seconds, jaws snapping straight for Bear 2 at the rear. Gale slash, direct hit. Confirmed contact. The dragon barely flinches and keeps attacking like nothing happened. I checked the damage readout in horror. Its actual health bar didn't move at all. Only a tiny sliver of its shield bar dropped. We are never breaking through that with conventional damage. High stamina and an absurd shield stacked on top. We'll die of attrition before we even crack its real health. Old gold. I scream for backup. No answer. I scream again. Still nothing. I glance back mid-fight and realize old gold is gone. Vanished. Did he run again? Is there another explanation? No time to think. The dragon lunges again. I dodge, and the wall behind me explodes into rubble instead. Bear and Bear 2 slam in with chain slap, but the dragon just whips its body and sends them both flying backward. We can't tank this, I grit out, ordering a full retreat. Worse, its damage aura is draining our HP just from standing nearby, 3 points per second, meaning even without a direct hit, we've got maybe 2 minutes before we just melt from proximity damage alone. Only Big Fire, immune to fire, is taking 0 damage and standing there panicking on our behalf. I retreat us into a tighter tunnel. If I can't beat it head-on, I can at least bottleneck its giant body. Bear, you're up? Bear holds the choke point while I grab Big Fire and retreat with Bear 2 clear of the domain. Rotating tank duty, trading off who eats the burn damage while the others recover. Outside the radius. Crude plan, but it's the best I've got, short of pouring my one precious vial of Fountain of Youth directly into this fight, which I really don't want to do given how limited my supply is. Bear takes a chunk torn out of his arm and roars in pain. I swap him out, send in Bear 2. Same result. Health crashing, shield barely scratched. We're rotating, surviving on fountain refills, but the safe choke point I'm aiming for is still too far away. Then a sound. Faint. Familiar. Squeak. Squeak. Old Gold's voice, getting louder. He's coming back. And he's not alone. His rat face appears in front of me, expression flipping instantly from excited to dead serious. Before I can say a word, he charges past me straight onto the dragon's body, clawing and biting like his life depends on it, because honestly, it does. Behind him, dozens more rats swarm in, doing exactly the same thing. The dragon shakes them all off violently, and they just roll, recover, and charge back in immediately. Each rat only deals 7 damage, sure, but with 34 rats attacking in one wave, that's over 300 damage per volley. The dragon's massive size, which should be an advantage, is now a liability in this cramped tunnel. It can't shake them all off fast enough. The shield bar starts crashing. The dragon thrashes harder, roaring louder, but it's losing, and it knows it. It starts backing away fast, somehow just as quick in reverse as forward. Bear 2. Hold it here. I charge in myself, trying to provoke it into staying. Its shield is almost gone. It snaps, catching my blade with its jaw, and flings me backward like garbage. Old Gold, he doesn't need telling twice. The rats throw everything they have left into one more assault. The dragon breaks free into a wider tunnel and shakes them all off again. Health bar, down to a third. It's about to bolt, and at our current speed, nobody's catching it. Then, right in its path, a small shape appears. Big Fire. Arms spread wide, tiny body trembling, face set in absolute, suicidal determination. Get back here! I scream. My heart actually stops. Big Fire is an F-rank slime. Even leveled up to 13 from jelly snacks, his stamina is still only 30 measly HP. The dragon's strength is 31. One hit ends him completely. But he doesn't retreat. He screams back at the dragon, defiant, and throws himself directly into its path. The dragon actually pauses, mildly surprised something this pathetic would dare block it, then decides, with visible contempt, that this bug doesn't even deserve a real attack. It just charges forward to flatten him by collision. Except Big Fire leaps straight at its face. That insult is apparently the last straw. The dragon abandons the charge entirely and raises a claw instead, intent on smearing him into paste out of sheer rage. My brain goes into overdrive. There's no time, no options, except one. I hurl my last vial of Fountain of Youth, aimed perfectly so it won't splash the dragon, betting everything on physics and timing, even instant. Death takes a fraction of a second, and if the liquid lands in that fraction, maybe, it heals him back before his health hits zero. The vial shatters against the rock wall right on cue. The claw connects. Big Fire's tiny body gets torn apart instantly, health draining to nothing almost too fast to see. But I don't blink. A drop of golden liquid lands on him. Then another. Golden light flares, and his shredded little body knits itself back together, whole again. I won the bet. And the system goes wild. Old Gold's loyalty 19. Current 100. Through fire and flood, never abandon, Gold-eating rat loyalty 49. Current 100. Gold-eating rat loyalty 38. Current 100. Gold-eating rat loyalty 46. Current 100. Bear's loyalty 2. Current 100. Bear 2's loyalty 11. Current 100. Big Fire's stand bought just enough time for the rats to circle back, and this time, every single attack lands with absolute conviction. They saw what I just did. They saw me burn my rarest, most precious resource without a second of hesitation, just to save the weakest, lowest-ranked creature in my entire roster. They don't know exactly what the fountain is, but they felt the overwhelming life force radiating off it. They understood, instantly, what it meant that I threw it away without flinching for a slime. If I do that for him, I'd do it for any of them. The dragon's health crashes to almost nothing in seconds. I see my window. Talisman, throne. Congratulations. Crimson Flame Earth Dragon successfully converted to militia. I barely register the notification. I'm already sprinting to Big Fire, and the second I confirm he's actually okay, I let out a breath I didn't even know I was holding. These slimes have had my back since day one. Low stats, sure, but unmatched in loyalty. They warned me of danger, found me an S-rank fire crystal, and led me to an SS-rank Fountain of Youth. And now Big Fire, my appointed slime leader, just stared down an A-rank dragon with literally nothing but spite and courage to back him up. Was the Fountain of Youth worth using on him? Without these slimes, I might never have found the fountain in the first place. Easy math. The newly tamed dragon trots up to me, making an embarrassingly cute purring sound, clearly trying to win me over. I pat its head, grinning. Funny how something can look terrifying as an enemy and absolutely adorable 5 minutes later once it's on your team. I climb onto its back. Let's go. Pippy Dragon. Pippy Dragon tilts its head at the name. Doesn't love it, doesn't hate it, doesn't really have a choice either way. Riding it is incredible. Wide back, smooth and fast movement. My first taste of actually having a mount, and it's everything I dreamed of. I direct it back to where it was originally sleeping, since the surrounding crystal walls looked suspiciously fancy. Scan reveals. Crimson Flame Crystal. Rank A. Originally B-rank Heartstone. Mutated after absorbing dragon blood. Shop value. 1,300 gold per piece. A-rank ore. The highest grade I've encountered yet, and equipment forged from A-rank materials is exactly the kind of upgrade my whole roster desperately needs. I order Old Gold's crew to start mining immediately. They clear out the vein fast, but it turns out the deposit is razor thin, just a surface layer. Total haul, 41 pieces. Decent, but not the jackpot I was hoping for. Then Pippy Dragon nudges my leg, gesturing deeper into the tunnel. There's more. Obviously, we keep going. 200 meters deeper, a second vein. 52 more pieces. 93 total now. I am living for this. The feeling of hauling sacks of cash by hand. Except it's literal magic crystal. Incredible. I ask if there's more. There's more. Of course there's more. Deeper we go. 300 meters further, a third vein. Old Gold's crew is already swinging picks before I even give the order. At 100 loyalty, they're basically reading my mind at this point. But then Big Fire starts squealing in alarm, tugging frantically at my pant leg, dragging me backward toward the exit. I trust him instantly, no hesitation. We're leaving. The moment we turn to go, a deep, ancient, bone-rattling roar erupts from somewhere deep in the mine. Pippi Dragon's legs immediately buckle, and it collapses flat on the ground. Bear, bear, bear too. The rats. Everyone freezes in pure terror, the exact same reaction we had to that murder bird 3 days ago. Yeah, there's something down there that makes A-rank dragons look small. Get up, move, unless you want to die. I slap Pippi Dragon hard, snapping it out of its panic. It scrambles up just as a wave of furious heat surges from the depths, and then my entire field of vision goes red. A wall of fire. Pippi Dragon takes one look back and bolts, full sprint, dragging everyone, bears clinging on, rats clinging on, along for the ride, because absolutely nobody has time to be polite about hitching a ride. Right now, the fire wave chases us, gaining by a hair every few seconds, scorching close enough to nearly clip Pippi Dragon's tail, and each time, it somehow finds an extra burst of speed to pull ahead again. I remember an old professor's theory about creature stats actually being a range rather than a fixed number, especially under extreme stress, and apparently that theory just got field tested on my dragon, in real time, while we're literally running for our lives. Not the time for academic trivia, Zhou Yun. I snap myself back to the actual emergency. The fire's close enough that I can feel the heat radiating off it even without contact, and our health bars are tanking fast. My Fountain of Youth supply is already gone. Used it earlier saving Big Fire. We might genuinely be done here. Then it hits me. Big Fire. He took 0 damage in the dragon's domain earlier. 0 damage from this fire wave right now too. His health bar isn't even flinching. Fire immunity. Big Fire, stretch out. I grab him and start pulling his jelly body taller, wider. He has no idea what I'm doing at first, but goes with it as his body doubles in length. I shove him behind us at the rear of the formation like a shield. It works. Our health stops dropping almost instantly. His fire immunity literally absorbs the heat wave before it can touch anyone behind him. He just needs to be big enough to fully block it. Catching on fast, Big Fire starts stretching himself even further, flattening into a thin 2-meter-tall, 1-meter-wide jelly wall. Mounted at the back of our retreat, it completely halts the damage. Cheers erupt from everyone. Pippi Dragon, the bears, the rats, celebrating the slime who just single-handedly saved all our lives. And Big Fire, instead of resting on his laurels, gestures excitedly with an idea of his own, his face still stretched flat like a pancake. I listen, and I am instantly impressed. Why didn't I think of that myself? I gauge the distance of the oncoming fire wave, then just throw Big Fire directly into it. The wave slams into him head-on, and being fully immune, he just absorbs the entire blast. No damage, no fear, total nonchalance. Within seconds, he pops back into his normal round shape, and the fire wave behind us is completely gone. Neutralized. Big Fire, you legend. I scoop him up, grinning ear to ear, the whole squad cheering along. Whatever's living down there is clearly on par with that apocalypse bird from before, and somehow, the actual hero of this entire crisis turned out to be the weakest, lowest-ranked creature on my entire roster. Still rattled, I order an immediate full retreat from the mine, no lingering. If that thing attacked once, it could easily do it again, and I'm not interested in finding out the hard way. Thankfully, nothing follows us out. Still, I order all the rats to abandon mining and return to base with me. Yes, that means losing or production, but Old Gold and his crew only get 1 life each, and no amount of crystal is worth gambling that. An hour later, the rat army arrives at base for the first time, eyes wide, exploring every corner like kids on a field trip. I watch with a quiet, proud smile. Most lords starting out can barely recruit a single militia member. For days in, and I've already got a full settlement's worth of citizens, and it's only growing. Outpost, village, town, city, nation. Eventually, maybe my influence covers the entire planet. Then, Ruhar, an ancient, terrifyingly authoritative roar rolls in from the distance. Everyone, me, the bears, Pippi Dragon, every single rat, freezes instantly. That's the same roar from the mine. A black speck rises from the mountain's direction, rapidly expanding as it climbs, and resolves into an enormous, fully grown fire dragon. Too far for my scanner to even register its stats. But logically, anything that makes the solar bird and Pippi dragon look small is operating on a completely different level. So that's why Pippi and that crystal were both connected to dragon blood, I mutter. There really is a dragon down there. Probably injured, recovering and hiding. Then, a familiar screech from the west. The solar blaze divine bird. Same one from 3 days ago. Except this time it's not heading toward me. It flies straight at the fire dragon. The dragon notices and roars a challenge. The bird answers with a fireball. The dragon answers with dragon breath. They collide midair in complete, eerie silence. But the sky itself turns blood red from the resulting blaze. Two beings I have zero hope of matching, just casually throwing apocalyptic attacks at each other in the sky. And even from this distance, the sheer force of it makes my stomach drop. The fight doesn't last long, though. Without any clear loser, the dragon suddenly bolts east, and the bird, apparently holding some kind of grudge, immediately gives chase. Within moments, both vanish completely. I stand there for a second, blinking. That escalated and resolved fast. Then a thought hits me, and my mouth actually starts watering. Dragons collect treasure. It's basically universal lore. If that fire dragon's been living in that mine this whole time, and it just left, there might be a hoard down there. A literal dragon's treasure room, left by something on par with an apocalypse bird. If the bird's random spit is S rank, a full dragon hoard could be absolutely insane. Fortune favors the bold, I mutter to myself, grinning. The dragon's gone. The bird's gone. What exactly am I scared of right now? Let's go take a look. 1 minute later, I've got my entire squad mobilized. Treasure means competition, and competition means whoever's strongest gets the loot. I am not losing a dragon hoard to some random rival lord's lucky D-rank boar. We sprint the whole way, but the deeper we go, the more my anxiety spikes, because it's silent. Normally there's at least a little forest rustling, distant scuttling, something. This time, nothing. Dead quiet. Don't tell me someone beat me here, I mutter, pushing Pippi dragon harder. We hit the mine, still silent. We hit the tunnel, still silent. I'm fully convinced at this point that some rival squad got here first and is currently looting my treasure room. We blast through the final stretch, reach the dragon's actual lair, a massive cavern, several football fields wide, walls absolutely covered in crimson flame crystal exactly like I imagined a real dragon hoard would look. And it's empty. No rival lords. No epic gear pile. No glittering treasure mountain. Nothing. My first instinct is, someone got here before us, but the math doesn't add up. We moved fast, ran into 0 other creatures the whole way. Realistically, nobody beat us here. Which means, maybe there just wasn't anything to begin with. The dragon was probably just crashing here temporarily while injured, not its actual home base, just a pit stop. My hopes deflate in real time. Greed really does ruin the moment. Huh, I sigh, laughing at myself. The crystal walls alone are still genuinely valuable, just nowhere close to the jackpot fantasy I'd built up in my head. Resigned, I order everyone to start mining the walls, not gonna leave empty-handed entirely. Then Big Fire starts bouncing excitedly around one specific spot. Remembering he's the one who found the S-rank fire crystal earlier, my interest spikes immediately. What's up? Found something, he nods emphatically. Something buried under there? Easy fix. I wave Bear over. Dig it up. Even though Pippi Dragon technically has higher raw strength, old habits kick in, and I default straight to Bear, my day 1 MVP. He digs without hesitation, plowing through loose soil in seconds. Then, something smooth and curved emerges from the dirt. Hold up, I scan it immediately. Crimson Flame Dragon Egg, damaged. Rank SSS-. Description: hatches into an infant Crimson Flame Dragon. Due to incomplete development, the damage must be repaired and proper nutrients supplied before it can hatch. I about jump 3 feet in the air. This is what every cloud has a silver lining actually feels like. An SSS rank dragon EGG, just casually buried under nothing special dirt. If I can hatch and raise this thing, it could single-handedly steamroll Earth's worst calamity beasts. The strongest known calamity monster on Earth only caps out at SS, a full rank below what this egg species is capable of, and rank gaps only widen with level. If Solar Blaze Bird and that adult fire dragon are anywhere close to true SSS, then this egg species could make even Earth's apex monsters look like background NPCs. Obviously, all of that is a future problem. Right now, step 1 is simple: get the egg out of here. Bear and Bear 2 work together to haul out the human-sized egg, and I immediately stash it in my lord's space. Retreat. Now, I order, completely abandoning the crystal mining operation. Without the egg, mining those walls was low risk. With the egg sitting in my pocket, that mama dragon is going to come back eventually, and if we're still here digging when she does, that's a death sentence. With extra steps. The whole way back, I'm paranoid out of my mind, jumping at every rustling leaf, fully expecting an enraged mother dragon to swoop and screaming at any second. We make it back to base without incident, though base defenses are a complete joke against anything dragon-sized. Still, even fake security helps psychologically. My only real hope is that my lord's space hides scent or trace, since dragons in fiction always seem to have insane tracking senses. As extra insurance, I scatter some Calamity Beast droppings along the trail. Ironic, since that survival kit item was originally meant to scare OFF unknown monsters, and now it's being repurposed to mask our smell instead. Never thought I'd actually use that. Detour to the river for a quick bath and a fresh fountain of youth refill. And by the time we get back to base, the sun's already down. Productive day overall, but base construction stalled hard. School and blacksmith are up, but hitting level 4 still needs 2 watchtowers and 20 sections of fence, eating roughly 500 wood. Even running every worker at full capacity, that's a full day minimum. I lay out tomorrow's plan and try to sleep. Except I can't. My brain just keeps circling back to the egg. Eventually, I give up on sleeping entirely, light a torch, and pull the egg out to study it properly. Hiding it from the mother dragon is one layer of safety, but there's a much better solution staring me in the face. Hatch it, convert it, and make the baby dragon mine. Once it's officially my militia, even if mama dragon tracks us down, she'd have to think twice about attacking, not without risking her own kid. But there's a problem. The scan clearly says the egg is damaged and needs repair plus proper nutrients before it can hatch. I turn it over and over by torchlight, examining every inch. And I genuinely cannot find any damage anywhere on it. I'm stumped. The skin can't be wrong, so I must just be missing it. 2 more thorough passes over the egg. Still nothing. Then I notice my left hand feels slightly damp from touching the shell. I hold it up to the torchlight, clear, sticky goo on my palm. Wait a second. I bring the flame closer to wherever I touched, and there it is, a thin, almost invisible crack, with the same clear fluid seeping out of it. Found it. Naturally, I reach for the obvious fix. Fountain of youth, healer of literally everything. 1 drop right onto the crack. The crack doesn't heal. Worse, the shell inside the crack starts bulging outward. What in the? Confused but stubborn, I try a second drop. The bulge grows more pronounced. I genuinely start spiraling. Is the baby dragon's appendage pushing through the shell from the inside? Don't dragons hatch by head-butting or pecking their way out? Is this species' hatching method just different? Worse? I shake off the increasingly cursed mental images and lean in with the torch for a proper look. And that's when I realize that bulge isn't shell material at all. It's metal, same color as the egg, but unmistakably reflecting torchlight like polished steel. Oh, it's not the shell bulging. Something's buried inside the egg and the crack is just where it's poking through. I pinch the protruding bit and pull. Barely enough grip with 2 fingers, but I manage to work it loose enough to grab with 3. From there it comes easier, and with steady pressure, more and more of it slides free. That's when I notice the detail work. Intricate engravings, a shape unmistakably resembling a sword hilt. Is there actually a sword stuck inside this egg? Only one way to find out. I commit fully, and with 1 final pull and a wet pop, an entire blade slides free, dripping in clear egg goo. Sword secured, I immediately panic dose the crack with 2 more drops of fountain water. Terrified, I just performed unauthorized surgery on an unborn dragon. Relief washes over me as the crack visibly seals shut. I scan the egg again to confirm. Crimson Flame Dragon Egg. Rank SSS. Hatching time estimate, 2,567 hours. Good news, damage repaired. Bad news, that's over 100 days to hatch. Even if I figure out how to hatch it, Mama Dragon will have torn the entire region apart looking for her egg several times over before this thing even cracks open. If living creatures could even be sold through the system shop, I'd genuinely consider it at this point just to make the problem go away. Right? The sword. I pick it back up off the floor, curiosity reignited. Scan. Cloud drift. Rank SS. Stats. Requires a hero to wield. Description. Only a hero may master this blade. Shop value. 1 gold. An SS rank sword. Stats hidden until claimed by an actual hero. No problem. Surely I basically count, right? I mean, technically, vibes-wise, I'm basically hero adjacent. I grip it firmly and scan again. Nothing changes. Excuse me? I'm not a hero. I glare at the blade like it personally insulted me. Look again. Scan again. Same result. This is ridiculous. I flick it on the hilt like scolding a misbehaving pet. What's your definition of hero, exactly? Do you even know? Fine. Fine. Let me ask you something. I clear my throat dramatically. Yuan Shao of Hebei, for generations of nobility, countless loyal subordinates, currently commanding the entirety of Ji province. Would you call him a hero? Why am I quoting Romance of the Three Kingdoms at an inanimate sword? Embarrassed at myself, I chuck Cloud Drift into my lord's space. I genuinely thought sharing a yuan in our names meant something. Turns out that was entirely one-sided. Heartbreaking. Egg stored too. I just sit on my bed for a while, sulking over owning 2 insanely powerful items I currently can't use for anything. Morning of day 5. No memory of falling asleep, but whatever. New day, new opportunities. Roster check first thing. Bears, 3, up 1. Cauliflowers, 8, up 2. Fire slimes, 15. Rats, 43. Water swordsmen, 3, up 1. Even the A-rank crew is growing. Crimson Flame Earth Dragon, 1. Excellent across the board. On top of that, Muyu's wood shipment lands, 700 pieces of F-rank lumber. With that kind of supply, level 4 is basically guaranteed today. I step outside into the sunrise, genuinely feeling great about the day ahead. Then I notice a shadow, directly over the sun. ROARRR, a roar that feels like it's been carved straight into my soul. My happy sunrise smile instantly drops into pure, panicked dread. I'm dead. I'm so dead. So dead. I don't speak dragon, but I don't need to. That roar is screaming pure rage, and there's only one logical reason for it. She found out the egg's gone. Worse, every precaution I took, the scent masking droppings, the careful retreat, apparently meant absolutely nothing, because she's flying directly toward MY base. No detour, no searching. Straight here. Wind kicks up as she approaches, trees thrashing wildly, my brand new buildings creaking like they're about to collapse from pure proximity stress. I sigh, look at my militia gathered around me, and just pull the egg out into the open. There's no clever trick here. No bluff. Tricking something on this level just turns angry into incinerate everything you love, and I'm not willing to gamble my entire population on a bluff. Better to hand it over honestly and hope mercy exists. The second she spots the egg, the wind immediately calms. Good sign. She lands directly above the base, her shadow swallowing the entire settlement whole, and reaches down with one massive claw to gently retrieve it. Thank you. I nearly jump out of my skin. Did she just... Wait, dragons can't talk, right? I look up and her enormous eyes are locked directly on mine. No fury in them. Just warmth. Gratitude. Thank you for saving my child. Okay, she's definitely communicating telepathically, because I'm hearing full sentences with zero sound coming from her mouth. My poor child was hurt because of me. Fatally, I thought. I believed I would only watch helplessly as the life drained from it. But somehow, by the grace of the dragon gods, you appeared. You're the one who saved my baby's life. I can feel that the wound has healed completely. Thank you, truly. Her eyes flicker with something like remembered pain, and then she physically tears off one of her own scales, dropping it gently in front of me. If you ever need my help, call on this. Whatever the trouble, I will do everything in my power to assist you, even at the cost of my own life. This is my promise. I am Alifia, of the Fire Dragon bloodline. And then she rises, slow and graceful, and flies off toward the north. I just stand there, staring at this absolute boulder of a scale sitting on the ground, brain completely fried. Did I seriously just turn about to die into personally promised a favor by an apex dragon? I crack a small, disbelieving laugh. If this thing's a little large for a keepsake, though, the moment I say it, the scale starts glowing faintly and shrinks down to palm-sized. Oh, size shifting, makes sense. Explains the blood trail back in that narrow mining tunnel too. Pocketing it, I take a few breaths to process the emotional whiplash of, I'm about to be cremated, flipping instantly into, a dragon owes me a favor. Then I clap my hands and snap everyone back to work. Big fire. Veggie 1. Aishue. Old Gold. Pippi. Let's go. Construction grinds on through the day, fence sections rising one by one, both watchtowers completed. By 5 p.m., we're literally one fence segment away from level 4. The base now has a visible perimeter. Even if it's temporary, fences can be torn down and rearranged freely, unlike real walls later. For now, good enough. Meanwhile, on the Lord network, people are getting suspicious. Day 5's almost over and something's off. Off how? Yunbro's still stuck at level 3 on the leaderboard. Wait, really? 12 people have caught up to him. Why is he stuck? Resource bottleneck? He got to level 3 first. Doubt he's bottlenecked on resources. Probably manpower, or hostile creatures eating his progress. If he's not level 4 by day 5, there's no way he hits level 5 before the period ends. And oh, I wanted that level 5 red packet. Same. But you can't force this stuff. Anyone got his contact? Let's check if he needs help. Bro, friend request still hasn't gone through. 1. Same here. Going to go cry in a corner. Guess the level 5 freebie train has left the station. And then, wait, he just leveled up. And oh way, for real? Holy, he actually did it. Level 4. Yunbro hit level 4. 5 is right there. Yunbro is unstoppable. Congratulations. You've completed 5 houses, 3 militia halls, lumber mill, mine, granary, blacksmith, 20 fences, 2 watchtowers, school, and training ground. Lord level up to 4. Lord space expanded. New blueprints unlocked. Lord's manor, fishery, orchard, vegetable garden, farmland. I grin so wide. It actually hurts a little. Level 4. And the climb to level 5 is almost embarrassingly light by comparison. Orchard, garden, and farmland barely sip wood and build fast. My whole crew working together could knock those out in under an hour. 5 more houses, same deal. The real bottleneck is the Lord's manor. 200 wood and 100 pieces of D rank or higher, or a requirement that wrecks 99% of early game lords who can't even find D rank materials, let alone in bulk. For me, a complete non-issue. I'm not just hitting the D rank requirement. I've got A rank or sitting in storage, and I fully intend to use it. Why burn premium A rank crystal on a basic building upgrade? Because the manor's real function is teleportation. Higher rank or used in construction equals more teleport beacons and longer range. D rank gets you 1. C rank, 2. Scaling up. A rank nets 4. Once built, I can drop beacons at the river and the mine and never waste hours walking there again. Instant travel. Massive quality of life upgrade. Level 4 itself is mostly a stepping stone though. Orchard, garden, farmland aren't urgent. Fisheries nice to have. The real prize sitting at level 5 is the Hero Tavern. Heroes are the actual game changer for any lord's power curve, and I am so close I can taste it. I want to push through the night and finish immediately, but everyone's exhausted from a full day of labor, and rushing now just risks mistakes. So, reluctantly, I call it and let everyone rest. Recovery first, speed second. Day 6 dawns, and the Lord network is buzzing, because no matter how brutal the week's been, tomorrow is day 7. Going home. Everyone here just turned 18 a week ago. Nobody's too proud to admit they miss their families. Even me, busy all day, but every night lying in bed, my thoughts drift to my parents and my sister, wondering if they're thinking about me the same way. I gather everyone outside the houses. Listen up, team. Tomorrow, we go home. And yeah, you're all coming with me to meet my family. None of them know exactly what that means, but my excitement is contagious enough that I get a chorus of happy roars, squeaks, and chirps back. I don't even register their confusion. I'm too busy imagining my parents' faces when I walk in with an entire militia behind me. Most lords finish survival week with maybe 5 militia, if they're lucky. 10 is genuinely impressive. Me? I'm bringing home a full roster, headlined by an A-rank dragon and 3 A-rank swordsmen. Nobody, as far as I know, has ever pulled off a haul like this. The only disappointment, no new recruits today. Looks like every creature within my militia hall's range has already been converted. Shaking it off, I clap my hands. All right, everyone. Eat up, then back to work. 7 hours later, 2 p.m. Congratulations. You've completed everything required. Lord's Manor, Fishery, Orchard, Vegetable Garden, 3 farmlands, and 5 more houses. Lord level up to 5. Lord space expanded. New blueprints unlocked. Hero Tavern, Jewelry Workshop, Brewery, Dining Hall, Hunting Ground. Level 5 resource red packet. Send to entire network. Send. Obviously. Congratulations. You received Subject Summon Talisman X1. Subject Summon Talisman. Rank S. Effect. Target any species already in your roster, non-hero, and summon one additional member of that species, guaranteed convertible. Not bad at all. I murmur, pocketing it happily. My current roster's solid enough that I don't need it right now, but save this for when I land an S-rank or SS-rank species down the line, and suddenly this talisman becomes way more valuable. Funny how my standards have shifted. A week ago, owning a single B-rank militia member would have blown my mind. Now I'm casually dismissing A-rank recruits. Eyes already on S-rank and beyond. Ambition really is bottomless. Meanwhile, the Lord Network is having a complete meltdown. I called it. I said Yun Bro could do it. Oh my god. Day 6. He's level 5. Day 6. This is insane. Has anyone in recorded history hit level 5 by day 6? I don't think so. I remember it always being day 7. Right at the wire, historically. Yun Bro just broke the record. Broke it? He obliterated it. This is unhinged. Day 7 he might literally pull a hero. A hero. During the survival period. That's terrifying to even imagine. Once the ranking ladder opens, is he just going to dominate the entire thing immediately? We mere commoners are doomed to live in Yun Bro's shadow forever. No glory for the rest of us, ever. LOL. Don't care, free red packets is free red packets. Real ones know. Once cross-realm wars open up, having a strong ally like him is worth everything. Base take. Meanwhile, somewhere else, Muyu lounges in her treehouse, smiling as the level 5 notification pings. She fires off a quick message. Big bro, riding your coattails again with this red packet. Gonna keep looking out for me, right? Everyone in the network seems thrilled about my milestone. Everyone, that is, except Liang Kuan, who's currently sitting somewhere. Expression dark as a thundercloud. Turns out Liang Kuan's, congrats, came from a much darker place than I realized. He'd just hit level 4 himself, genuinely believing he was closing the gap and might actually steal the 1 spot from me, only to get blindsided by my level 5 notification seconds later, completely shattering his momentum. I thought I had a legendary head start, he reportedly muttered to himself, devastated. And I'm still this far behind him. What I asked this guy, after a brief sulking session, he sends me a single, defeated, congrats. Meanwhile on my end, I get messages from both him and Muyu. Muyu's reaction was expected, but Liang Kuan's genuine congratulations actually catches me off guard. I reply to both, then refocus. I decide to push through and finish the Hero Tavern before sundown. Requirements: 100 wood, minimum C rank, and 100 ore, minimum C rank. Same rule as before, better materials, better building performance. C rank wood is everywhere, B rank's findable if I look. A rank wood I haven't seen yet, might just be a regional thing. I settle on B rank silver branch wood for the build and A rank crimson flame crystal for the ore. Easy choice since I'm swimming in both. I'm running low on crystal after the manor build, but no problem. I send old gold back to the mine with a teleport beacon ready to go, round trip in minutes instead of hours. The Mama Dragon issue is also a non-concern. She flew north, the mine's south. Zero overlap. Just before full dark, the whole team pulls together and finishes it. Congratulations. Hero Tavern successfully built. Hero Tavern, temporary lodging for wild heroes. When a hero visits, be sure to have fine liquor ready. Finally, even shrouded in darkness, this building practically glows in my mind. I send everyone to rest, but I'm not done yet. The tavern's construction materials determine how likely a hero is to even show up, and B rank wood plus A rank crystal should handle that side fine. The harder part is keeping them once they arrive. Without good liquor, a hero might wander in, get unimpressed, and immediately leave without ever signing on. Brewing my own takes 10 to 15 days minimum. Way too slow for my timeline. So, naturally, shortcut time. I post in the network. Emergency request. Need fine liquor ASAP. Name your trade terms in the friend request. Chaos erupts instantly. It's him. Catch him. Yunbro needs wine. Everyone empty your liquor cabinets now. Is he recruiting a hero already? I'm so jealous. Must be nice. Some of us are still stuck wondering when we'll get there. I happen to have 2 bottles of 30-year XO lying around. Take them. No charge, bro. With a move like that, Yunbro's never gonna forget your name. I've got a case of premium wine I bought off some live stream. Happy to donate too. Shut up and step aside, peasants. Within a minute, over 30 friend requests roll in, most arriving with the liquor already attached, plus modest asks. Some want ore, some want wood, some just want to be my friend. I approve all of it. Networking with other lords matters, and being reasonable about it matters even more. Not one person tried lowballing me with some outrageous demand just because they handed over a couple bottles. Then a notification catches my eye. Leon Kuan. Was going to keep this for myself, but clearly that ship sailed. You need it more. Take it all. He sends an entire package. I open it. 10 full cases. Hennessy XO. 14 generation Dragon Moon. Kwaichao Matai Flying Fairy. Romani Conti. Holy crap. These are actual top-shelf bottles. I mutter, genuinely impressed. The combined value of everything 30 other lords sent me doesn't even come close to what this one guy just handed over. I take all of it without hesitation. This is exactly the kind of supply I need right now. No point being precious about it. But friendship runs both ways, so I immediately send him 3 pieces of A-rank Crimson Flame crystal as payback. He accepts almost instantly. Thanks. I owe you 1 for this round. I'll pay it forward next time. I smile to myself. Nothing more needs saying. I haul everything to the tavern and stock the shelves, bottle by bottle. Now it's purely a waiting game. I need sleep eventually, but wild heroes apparently don't run on a schedule. They could show up any hour of the night, my unconsciousness be damned. Which actually works in my favor. I rest, the tavern keeps recruiting, everyone wins. If I'm lucky, I think, settling into bed, there'll be a hero waiting for me the moment I wake up. Please be a good one. C rank would already be great. Ideally a healer type. Honestly, then I can finally stop burning Fountain of Youth on every scraped knee. Or a blacksmith type, so the forge actually gets some use. Buzzing with hope, I drift off to sleep. Day 7, I wake up and just spring out of bed, completely skipping my usual roster check, sprinting straight for the tavern. I need to see what showed up overnight, immediately. Before I even reach the door, I hear it. Laughter, chatter, a genuinely lively crowd inside. My heart does a happy little flip, but I keep my excitement in check, because the tavern attracts both heroes and regular wanderers. The wanderers are just bar patrons, fun to have around, but completely unrecruitable. I straighten my clothes, take a breath, and push the door open. The noise hits me immediately, and honestly, I love it. The patrons spot me right away. It's the Lord. Thank you for the wine. Genuinely amazing stuff. Morning, my lord. I smile and nod at each, but my eyes are scanning chests, specifically for hero badges. Heroes wear them as proof of rank. Higher rank means a bigger, fancier badge. Then I freeze. There, a dwarf with fiery red hair and a matching beard, badge clearly visible on his chest. C rank, hero badge. Yes, internal screaming. I just wished for a blacksmith-type hero last night, and the universe apparently delivers on a 12-hour turnaround. Dwarves are basically the entire fantasy genre's blacksmithing race. This is a perfect match. He spots me looking and raises his mug with a booming laugh. Hey there, my lord. Care for a drink? Absolutely, I say immediately. Even though I'm not much of a drinker myself, sharing a toast with a potential recruit is basically diplomacy 101. As I walk over, something else catches my eye. A graceful, pale-skinned, green-haired beauty with distinctly pointed ears. Elf. And on her chest, another C-rank hero badge. 2 heroes. On day 1 of tavern operations. This is the kind of luck that shouldn't statistically be allowed to happen, and I'm not even mad about it. I sit with the dwarf first, exchange pleasantries, His name's Huishu Shihui, of the Stonemer dwarf tribe. This wine's something special, my lord, he booms, draining another swig of whiskey straight from the bottle like it's water. That comment alone is basically a job application. Heroes hanging around an unaffiliated tavern are, by definition, unemployed and looking. He sets down his mug. Though, fine drink aside, fire and or are just as essential to my soul. Translation received, loud and clear. Funny you mention that, I say. I happen to have a blacksmith shop that desperately needs a real master craftsman. You'd be perfect, he laughs heartily. A master craftsman, you say? Huh. My forging skills are rather excellent, if I do say so myself. If you'll have me, my lord, I'm happy to serve. Just keep the ore and wine flowing, and 50 gold a month covers the rest. His full profile pops up automatically. Huishu Shihui. Rank C hero. Stats across the board solid, especially stamina 28. Talent. Forge mastery, minus 20% crafting time, 20% quality. Skill. Explosive hammer strike, AoE fire damage. Hero aura. 10% all stats to subjects under him. 20% if there is matching unit type. Wage. 50 gold/month, ore and wine included. Exactly the kind of solid C-rank specialist I need. I pull out the recruitment contract immediately, we sign, and, at your service, my lord. He stands, bows formally. The blacksmith is officially yours, I tell him, grinning. I'll get you proper troops to command as soon as I can. As you command. While he's bowing, I notice the elf approaching gracefully on her own. Greetings, honored lord. My name is Ellie, of the Forest Elf line. The richness of life energy in your territory is genuinely soothing to me. She pauses. I possess capable healing magic, along with the ability to accelerate plant growth and calm hostile creatures. Would I have the honor of serving you? Her profile appears, Ellie. Rank C hero. Spirit and intelligence both excellent. Talent. Whisper of nature, 20% plant growth, minus 20% monster hostility. Skill. Forest blessing. AoE healing based on intelligence stat. Hero aura. 10% all stats to subjects, 20% if matching unit type. Wage. 100 gold/month. A healer. A real healer. I am internally screaming with joy. With her around, my Fountain of Youth stash finally gets to stay a stash instead of a constant emergency fund. 100 gold a month is genuinely nothing for what she brings to the table. No hesitation. Contract signed instantly. Golden light. Done deal. Ellie's officially my second hero recruit. 2 heroes before lunch on day 7. I am riding an actual high right now, fully prepared to take them on a base tour and show off the settlement. Then Ellie speaks up. Won't you consider recruiting that one as well? Which one? I follow her gaze, and my pupils blow wide open. An A-rank hero badge. A-rank. I just stare. Heroes are supposed to have NO weak stats. Ellie and Huishu both clock in above 20 across the board, which is literally the C-rank entry requirement. B-rank doubles that to 40. A-rank doubles again to 80, minimum, in every single category. And this woman in the corner is sitting at level 1, with that bar already cleared. She's dressed head to toe in black, slouched in a dim corner, nursing her drink like she's actively trying not to exist. Even when both Ellie and I openly stare, she gives zero reaction, which is suspicious in itself, because A-rank spirit stat should mean she absolutely notices being watched. She's choosing to ignore us. Realistically, my odds of recruiting her are basically zero. Doesn't matter. A-rank is A-rank. I'm trying anyway. Hello. I'm the Lord here, surname Zhou. May I ask your name? Wuji, she says flatly, mid-sip, barely looking up. Yeah, that confirms my suspicions about how this is going to go. I take in the full look. Black hair, black coat, black skirt, black boots, and a black sheath katana resting against her chair. And I'm trying to find a conversational hook when she suddenly lifts her head. And she's stunning. Pale, sharp, beautiful, completely unreadable. If you want to recruit me, I won't refuse. A pause. But it isn't worth it. Why not? Because my wage is 1,000 gold a month. And all you'd be getting is a swordswoman with amnesia. Amnesia? She just looks at me, silent. Her profile pops up. Wuji, injured. Rank A, level 1. Strength 94. Stamina 91. Intelligence 82. Spirit 85. Speed 101. Talent. Mist Veil, 50% dodge. Equipment, Crescent Moon, Rank A. Skill, none. Unit type, none. Hero aura, none. Wage, 1,000 gold/month. Description, a legendary swordswoman searching for lost memories, likely carrying a painful past. I slap a contract on the table without hesitation. I can't help you recover your memories, but I can guarantee 1,000 gold a month, on time, every time, no exceptions. She just stares at me, unmoving, processing. Huishu leans in quietly. My lord. He doesn't finish the sentence, but the tone says it all. He thinks this is a bad deal. Ellie tugs gently at my sleeve, equally skeptical. Both of them think paying full A-rank price for someone currently missing her skills, unit type, and aura is a financial trap. And honestly, on paper, they're not wrong. A fully functional A-rank hero rarely commands 1,000 gold. An amnesiac one definitely shouldn't. I don't care. 1,000 gold converts to roughly 10 million Earth credits. I know exactly what that number means. And I genuinely could not care less. I own a planet's worth of resources. 1,000 gold is, mine some extra or sell it to the shop, levels of trivial for me. I'm not paying for her current output. I'm paying for her ceiling. Speed 101 alone justifies it. Water swordsman running at 30 already felt untouchable. This woman is operating at triple that. She's basically not bound by normal physics at this point. After a long pause, she finally nods. I know I'm not currently worth that wage. But if you insist, I will give my absolute best. Contract signed. Golden light. Done. I leave the tavern with 3 heroes trailing behind me. Wuji, the A-rank amnesiac swordswoman. Huishu, my C-rank blacksmith warrior. And Ellie, my C-rank healer gardener. Roster growth stalled today, but 3 heroes in one morning more than makes up for it. This haul is genuinely beyond anything I expected. Last day of survival period, and I'm not wasting it. Huishu obviously takes over the blacksmith full-time, with old gold liaising on or supply and his rats training under him to become explosive hammer troopers. I am very excited to see an army of rats, wielding tiny war hammers, frankly. Ellie gets the plant garden, paired with my 8 cauliflower beasts, her perfect match, given their farming talent, training them into forest guardians, basically building myself an 8-unit healing squad. Wuji, for now, gets no assignment. No skills, no unit type, no aura to leverage yet. There's only so much I can do with her here. But Earth? Earth is going to be an entirely different story. Night falls, and as departure approaches, my chest tightens with anticipation. Mom, Dad, Sis. I'm coming home. Day 8. Return day. I wake before dawn. Kill time scrolling the Lord network. Everyone's equally too excited to sleep. And at exactly 6:59 a.m., the system speaks. 7-day survival period ending. Leaderboard rewards delivered upon return. Teleport restrictions lifting. Teleport skill. Returns you instantly to your Lord territory. Reuse to return to your anchor point. 24H cooldown. Territory entering 3-day absolute protection period. Counting down. 42. 41. 40. Golden light wraps the base. 3 days of total safety. Time inside basically freezes to a crawl. A cooldown period for new lords to decide if they actually want to keep this life or walk away and go back to being normal. I already know my answer. Home. Blackness, then light. I'm standing in the park near my house. Joggers. Distant era music. The smell of grass and flowers. I'm back. I shout at the sky, grinning and sprint home. I climb the stairs to the 10th floor, slowing as I near our door, planning a surprise entrance. Then I notice it's too quiet. It's Thursday morning. My sister should be eating breakfast before school. My parents should be getting ready for work. Instead, silence. The shoe rack is knocked sideways. An umbrella's on the floor. Shoes scattered everywhere. This is wrong. Completely wrong. Dad? Mom? Sis? I'm home. My voice cracks with rising panic. No answer. I notice dust on the door handle. Nobody's touched it in days. My stomach drops through the floor. I unlock the door and shove it open. Empty. Trashed. Signs of a struggle. My sister's backpack, dumped on the floor, books spilled everywhere. And that detail alone breaks something in me, because she never treats her books like that. Never. It's fine. It's fine. I'm overreacting. I mutter, hands shaking as I call my dad. No answer. Mom. No answer. Sister. No answer. I run across the hall and pound on the neighbor's door. Aunt Lee, Uncle He, anyone home? The door creaks open. Aunt Lee, who takes one look at me, surprise flashing into something far worse. Pity. Sweetheart, your parents and sister were taken 5 days ago. A group showed up, loud, demanding money. Things got loud inside, and then they were just gone. The district watch even came out, but it didn't matter. Word around the building is they're loan sharks. Not people you mess with. Loan sharks. I repeat numbly. It clicks all at once. The money never made sense. My parents' modest income could never cover my education costs. Not even close. But every time I asked, they brushed it off, told me to focus on school. This is what they'd been hiding. Did you catch anything else? A company name, an accent, tattoos, anything? She thinks. Not much, honestly, just plain black suits. Though, I did hear them say something like Onbong a few times. Might be the company name. I thank her and rush back inside, searching maps and records for Onbong. Nothing matches. Dead end. Calling the district watch feels pointless. If they were bold enough to drag my family out in broad daylight, they clearly aren't worried about consequences. If the authorities can't help, who can I turn to? My fist slams into the ground. Even the mayor personally visited my family, and these loan sharks just waltz in and take them? No rules apply to anyone anymore. Then it hits me. The mayor. The district watch couldn't help, but that doesn't mean the mayor can't. I don't have his contact info, but I know someone who does, my teacher. Back at school, Teacher Huang's been sitting at his desk all morning, phone ready, since today's the return day for new lords. His co-workers, including the previously smug grade director, have been treating him with newfound respect ever since news of my 130-hectare territory broke. Even unconfirmed, 3 years of straight A behavior basically makes it a foregone conclusion in their minds. This man's student is about to become a national pillar. His phone finally rings. He answers instantly, smooth as silk despite the room full of staring coworkers, and within seconds his expression shifts from calm to furious. Outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. A company called Onbong? I bet that's that debt collection agency, Onghua Weibang. Don't panic. I'll personally reach the mayor on this. Leave it entirely to me. He hangs up, throws his coat on, and storms out with the energy of a general marching to war. Teacher Huang, where are you? The grade director starts. He doesn't even slow down. Going to commit murder. Meanwhile, I've already pulled up the company name on my phone. Onghua Weibang Information Consulting Company, Limited, 26.1 kilometers away. There it is. Onbong was just shorthand all along. The map listings bare bones. No phone number, barely any info, but the reviews underneath are damning. Multiple people reporting violent collection tactics. One review even claims a family member ended up hospitalized. If they do that to a stranger, what's happening to my family right now? I sprint outside, hail a cab. As fast as you possibly can, please. You got it. The driver floors it and immediately hits traffic. Ugh, today's the return day for new lords, he grumbles. Roads are a nightmare. I check the map. Estimated delay, 29 minutes. Unacceptable. I pay the driver and bail early, walking straight into the dedicated Lord Lane, running down the road's center, wide open, built specifically for situations exactly like this. I raise my hand. Gold light flashes, and out steps a 5-meter-long, red-scaled beast with a head the size of a wrecking ball and legs like tree trunks. Pippi Dragon. I swing onto his back, pat his curious, swiveling head. Pippi, let's move. Roar. He charges, hooves slamming the pavement in a thunderous rhythm. The cab driver stares, jaw on the floor. Did I just give a ride to a lord? That young? People stuck in traffic crane their necks, completely transfixed. Whoa, what an awesome mount. So cool. Must be nice being a lord. No traffic problems for them. Mommy, look, that big brother is amazing. Sweetie, that's not just any big brother. That's a lord. Lords are so cool. I want to be one when I grow up. Normally, I'd be a little embarrassed by this much attention. Not today. My brain has exactly one priority. Get to my family, and everything else just gets filtered out as background noise. Pippi's base speed is 27 after his leader stat bonus, which translates to roughly 54 kilometers per hour at full burst, slower than a car normally, sure, but cars get stuck in traffic. Pippi, on the open Lord lane, just keeps going. His top speed usually can't be sustained long, but today, something's clearly fueling him, because he holds 45 kilometers per hour continuously, blowing past one mounted lord on horseback, then another riding an ostrich, apparently developing a taste for overtaking people. That thing's fast. That body type shouldn't move like that. What I asked that? So stylish. Hey friend, what mount is that? You selling? Half an hour later, we arrive, a 30-story office tower. Headquarters of Ongwa Weibang Information Consulting. Let's go in, I order. Roar, Pippi answers eagerly, charging the entrance. He's never seen a building like this and is genuinely curious to explore. Security spots us immediately. Lord, sir, mounts aren't permitted inside. I don't even acknowledge them. Breakthrough. Roar, Pippi accelerates straight at the doors. The guard scrambles for his radio. Captain, Captain, Lord causing a disturbance at the front entrance. Need backup, now, crash. The glass doors shatter as Pippi plows straight through. The security team scatters back, none of them brave enough to actually approach, just shouting warnings from a safe distance that they've called the cops. Pot calling the kettle black, huh? I scoff, walking up to the front desk. Where's the general manager's office? The receptionist, visibly terrified, stammers. Do you have an appointment? An appointment. For this. Adorable. I don't even answer, just nudge Pippi's flank with my foot. The entire front desk counter explodes into splinters. She SCREMS. Security. Someone help. 30 guards show up in response. The team leader spots me immediately, raising a riot baton as he charges. On bong. The word alone makes my expression go ice cold. Pippi senses my mood and doesn't even bother dodging the incoming baton, just swats it aside with one claw. Thwack. The team leader goes flying into the wall. 2 more swings, 2 more guards launched. The rest freeze instantly, finally understanding that engaging means becoming a human pancake. I lock eyes on the receptionist again. She immediately cracks. 11th floor. He's on the 11th floor. I nod and head for the elevator. Pippi's way too big to fit, so I send him back to my territory and ride up alone. 2nd floor. 3rd. 5th. The elevator stops at the 8th floor. I assume someone's getting on. The doors open and 2 wolves lunge straight at me. Reflexes kick in instantly. 1 punch, 1 kick. Both wolves go flying. I'm currently running synced stats from my water swordsman leader, Ashui, strength, 33, times 120% stamina, 29 intelligence, 23 spirit, 23 speed, 33, times 110%. Equipped, Gale Sword in hand. I step out into the hallway with my strength sitting at 39.6. Enough force to seriously injure a normal wolf with a single hit. These 2. They get launched, hit the ground, roll, and just get back up. Barely phased. Somebody's militia. Not bad. Kid. A deep voice rumbles from the side. A middle-aged man in sunglasses and a black suit is standing there, clapping slowly, surrounded by 16 more wolves. A lord, working dirty jobs for a company like this? I sneer. Pathetic. No, you've got it wrong, he says, wagging a finger. I'm not working for the company. I answer to myself. My nephew owns this place. I just hold a 40% stake. My eyes drop. So he's not some misguided employee. He's an owner. Nothing left to discuss. I lunge without warning. Enemy confirmed. Problem to be solved. Get him. He retreats fast, commanding his wolf pack forward. I don't even blink. These wolves might not be ordinary, but anything under 20 speed reads as slow to me at this point. Sidestep, line up the angle. Gale slash. A green crescent of wind tears through nearly 10 wolves in a single sweep, dropping their health bars to near zero, blood pooling beneath them. Retreat. Now, the man scrambles to recall his pack into storage, visibly shaken. He genuinely didn't expect someone this young to hit this hard. His wolves, D rank, sure, but raised for almost 20 years, averaging level 45, every stat above 12. Nearly got one shot by a teenager's sword swing. Composing himself with effort, he says, impressive for someone so young. Explains the recklessness of charging in alone. He pauses. So, what exactly did Ambong do to upset you? If it's minor, I could fix it. Consider it a gesture of friendship. My expression stays completely flat. If he'd said this before I started breaking furniture, maybe I'd have considered it. But now? Now you're losing and suddenly want peace talks? Too late. You can't fix this, I say, slowly raising my blade. This is much bigger than you think. I lunge again, sword aimed straight at him. Technically, lords aren't allowed to kill each other outright under national law. But as long as nobody dies, the state tends to look the other way. You little. The man's composure cracks completely. Fine. Belit, teach him some manners. A flash of pale gold light, and a werewolf materializes mid-air, catching my blade between both clawed hands. I narrow my eyes. There's a hero badge on its chest. A hero. Worth taking seriously. I push again. Clang. 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 3 strikes, all cleanly parried. The man's confidence visibly returns watching Belit handle me with ease. Full power. Just don't kill him. Have your fun otherwise. Belit leaps back, then surges forward with blinding speed, claws now glowing crimson red, aimed straight at my chest. The man's smirk widens. Age and experience beats raw talent, he thinks. There's a particular satisfaction in crushing a prodigy with more potential than himself. But something about my reaction confuses him. I don't dodge. Don't block. I just stand there, sword grounded, completely still. Belit's clearly stronger, sure, but not that much stronger. Giving up already? Typical. Kids these days really don't have the grit they used to. Right as that thought finishes forming, a flash of gold light streaks past me. Clang. Half of Belit's claw, and its entire head, goes spinning through the air. Mid-rotation, in its final dying view, it sees her, a long-haired girl in a pure black school uniform, frozen mid-draw, standing perfectly still right in front of me. That's a fast blade boom. Belit's body explodes into a shower of light particles and just dissolves. Summoned creatures, once dead, go back to their lord's territory as a soul. Dust to dust, basically. The man just freezes, mouth open, completely stunned. I'm not interested in finishing him off. I just turn and head for the elevator, Wuji following silently. That was her first real swing since joining me, and honestly, terrifying. Based on our earlier exchange with the wolves, that werewolf's stats were roughly on par with mine, stamina at least 20. Even with Wuji's 94 strength, a single strike should only deal 94 damage, not an instant kill. Is it the sword? I mutter, eyeing her A-rank katana, Crescent Moon. That blade's clearly carrying more weight than just raw stats. The instant we step away, the man's phone rings. He answers, dazed. Old uncle, was there a young lord named Zhou Yun blocking your way? Do not touch him. Just let him through. But hello? You there? The man, caught somewhere between laughing and crying, just mutters. He's already gone up. Ding. 11th floor. The doors open to reveal a wide, grinning, chubby face. Brother Yun, right? You should have just told me you were coming. I'd have personally come down to greet you. Almost a real misunderstanding back there. Lucky I called in time. Forgot my manners. Name's Wang Xingren. This company's mine. Yours? My eyes go razor sharp instantly. I step out of the elevator. You're the one who took my family. Where are they? Wuji's sword is at his throat before I even finish the sentence. Misunderstanding. It's all a misunderstanding, he yelps, hands shooting skyward. Kidnap them? Me? I personally invited them here, very politely. Take me to them. Now, we're walked a minute down the hall to a suite, and there they are. Son, Xiaoyun, bro, my parents and sister, all alive, all completely shocked to see me. I'm equally stunned. They're not hurt. They look healthy, relaxed even, and the room itself looks like a literal 5-star hotel suite. Wang Xingren beams. See? Told you I was just being a good host. My dad notices the sword at Xingren's throat and immediately frowns. Whose daughter is this? Where are her manners? Put the sword away before someone gets hurt. Whose daughter? I mutter, vaguely amused despite everything, and tell Wuji to stand down. She sheaths the blade and steps back beside me, full bodyguard mode. Xingren's eyes light up. Actually, Brother Zhou, unless I'm mistaken, this isn't anyone's daughter at all. This is your recruited hero, isn't it? A hero? My parents and sister gasp in unison. Even non-lords in this era know the basics of hero status. Son, you really recruited a hero? Don't you need level 5 to even unlock that? Bro, you're amazing. I don't answer right away. First I do a full physical check on all 3 of them, confirming with my own eyes nobody's hurt. Only then do I exhale. Okay, Someone explain. Why aren't you at home? Why is sis not in school? Xingren starts to answer, then defers to my dad. Brother Zhou, you tell him. He might not believe it coming from me. My dad sighs. Son, you're a big shot now. No point hiding it anymore. We took out several high-interest loans over the years to fund your education. Loans need repaying eventually, and frankly, we don't have the money. Turns out Xingren here is actually one of our lenders, but unlike the others, who just call and threaten and show up at the door, he offered flexible repayment and offered to put us up here once he heard our situation. That's why we're here. In Dad's retelling, Xingren's basically a saint. I'm not buying it. So you both stopped working? Sis stopped school. Mom shakes her head. The collectors are everywhere. If we don't pay, they go after our jobs, our workplaces. They were literally waiting outside your sister's school. There was no way to keep working or attending classes normally. And the phone? I push. The thrown-down backpack? You don't smash a phone just relocating. Xingren jumps in, taking the blame immediately. That one's on me. Should have handled it personally. Sent some clumsy staff who botched the messaging. Blame me for that. Fully. A perfectly reasonable explanation for every single red flag. Convenient. I stare at him, internally seething. This man has zero real connection to my family. Why would he go out of his way to help? If he were genuinely this charitable, the internet reviews wouldn't be a pile of horror stories. There's clearly an angle here. Sensing the tension, my dad grabs both our hands, laughing it off. It's all a misunderstanding, like I said. Come on, sit. Let's talk it through properly. Once we're all seated, Xingren claps his hands. You know, today's actually a huge day, Brother Yun's official return. My mistake for not welcoming you properly. Let me make it up. Dinner's on me. Qinghe Grand Hotel. My treat. Yes. My sister lights up immediately. I've never been there. My parents wave it off, embarrassed. Oh, we couldn't possibly. Nonsense. Xingren feigns offense. Brother Zhou and sister-in-law and I, we clicked instantly. Anything involving Brother Yun is MY business too. My dad reluctantly agrees, though he hesitates on the venue. Dinner sounds great, but Qinghe Grand. I heard a single table starts at 100,000. Way too extravagant. Maybe somewhere more reasonable? Xingren waves a dismissive hand. Money comes and goes. Besides, Brother Yun's territory is 1.3 million square meters. Once he's officially confirmed, that national first-tier subsidy is basically guaranteed. The man's destined to become a national pillar. A nice dinner is the least he deserves. My parents nod along, beaming with pride. They'd never spend that kind of money on themselves, but on me? Suddenly, it feels completely justified. Meanwhile, my expression has gone cold. Because Wang Xingren just casually name-dropped the exact figure, 1.3 million square meters. I've been wondering this whole time what his actual angle is. Now I know. He's not after my family's debt. He's after my future. Right on cue, he frowns thoughtfully. Qinghe Grand's probably booked solid with welcome home dinners tonight. If we throw a big celebration, people are going to want proof of the territory claim. Wouldn't want some drunk guest loudly questioning it mid-meal without us having receipts. Easy fix, my dad chimes in. Son, didn't the mayor give you that testing crystal before you left? Bring it tonight, show everyone. Let them see the Zhou family deals and facts, not empty talk. Exactly, that's the spirit. Wang Xingren claps along, all cheerful agreement. And what if I refuse? I ask. Dead silence. My dad blinks, genuinely confused why I'd say something like that. Xingren's smile gets visibly awkward. He knows that question is aimed straight at him. My parents finally start picking up on the tension. They raised me. They know exactly who I am. And casually clapping back at someone has never, ever been on the menu. Xingren forces a chuckle. Brother Yun's joking around. Showing the testing crystal is nothing. Why would there be an issue? I stand up slowly, a faint, cold smile on my face. So, same question. If I refuse, what then? Or how about this one instead? My voice flattens completely. What if my territory isn't actually 1.3 million square meters at all? What if the real number is less than 1% of that? Xingren's grin strains harder. Brother Yun, come on. I'm not joking. I am dead serious right now. He goes quiet. Then, Brother Yun, whatever the actual size is, let me be clear. I bear you no ill will. I'm simply a businessman. And business is about risk and reward. A pause. Since you're being this blunt, I'll be blunt too. If your territory is just 10,000 something square meters, I'll knock 30% off your family's debt. No hard feelings. We part as friends. But if it's really 1.3 million square meters, I will personally cover every cent of your family's debt. From that point forward, I am your dog. Your whole family's dog. Tell me to go east. I won't even think about west. He delivers this last part with absolute conviction, practically frothing with sincerity. My parents and sister are floored. In their eyes, this guy's a wealthy, powerful businessman, and he's volunteering to be our literal servant? Not interested, I say flatly. You're a debt-collecting lapdog. You don't get to negotiate terms with me. You think too highly of yourself? If my family weren't sitting here safe right now, do you really think I'd be having a calm conversation with you? You parade around acting like you're helping my family while actually kidnapping and detaining them, holding them as collateral, waiting to see which way the dice land. If my territory really is 1.3 million square meters, sure, you'd be thrilled, best investment of your life. You'd happily play the loyal dog. But if I'm a fraud, some nobody lord with a territory the size of a postage stamp, you'd flip instantly and demand every cent back, room and board included, with interest. My parents' faces drain of color. Unprompted kindness from a stranger is rarely innocent. They'd suspected something was off from the start, but Xingren's charm offensive had slowly worn down their guard over the past few days. Now, hearing it laid out plainly, the picture's crystal clear. If I'd shown that crystal and revealed a tiny territory, none of us would have walked out that door today. Xingren starts clapping, almost admiringly. My approach was clumsy, sure, but most people fold under that kind of pressure anyway. You didn't. You called it instantly. Genuinely impressive, for a lord. But that's where it ends. If you really had 1.3 million square meters, showing the crystal would cost you nothing. The fact that you won't means you're scared. Which means the whole 1.3 million story is a lie. Am I wrong? I stay perfectly calm. And if you're not? I'm curious what you'd actually do about it. He shakes his head. Kid, you're brave, but naive about how this world actually works. You think I'd let you up here without a backup plan? You don't really think my line of work runs on decorative security guards who do nothing but eat lunch, do you? He claps twice. Footsteps thunder down the hallway. The door creaks open. A wall of black suits floods the doorway. He lights a cigar, leaning back with total confidence. I have one flaw. I'm curious by nature. The more you refuse to show that crystal, the more curious I get. Today, you're showing it. One way or another, Daddy. My sister, not fully understanding but absolutely sensing the danger, shrinks behind my father. My dad grabs my visibly tense mom's hand, pulls my sister behind him, and starts to rise, ready to argue. I step in front of him first. Wuji, a black blur. By the time I blink, she's already sheathed her blade. A split second later, every single black-suited man behind Xingren erupts with a diagonal slash from shoulder to hip. AGH. GH. The entire intimidating wall of muscle, fully upright a heartbeat ago, collapses to the floor in unison. Xingren's cigar slips from his fingers and hits the carpet. His face has gone completely blank with disbelief. You? How is this even? I kick him aside without another word, turn back to my family. Let's go home. My sister nods hard, eyes finally bright instead of scared. Walking out, the hallway is still packed with black suits, but with me leading the way, they scramble to clear a path, pressing themselves flat against the walls like they're trying to merge with the architecture. We walk out unopposed, heading toward the bus stop to go home, when sirens start blaring. A flood of police cars pulls up. I count at least 50. My parents tense up instantly. Did they call the cops on us? For hurting people? My expression goes serious. Did the loan shark mafia really have police pull strings too? Then the doors open, and the relief hits instantly. It's my teacher, Mr. Huang, and right behind him, the mayor. A full squad of armed district watch officers spill out after them, falling into formation. Mr. Huang spots me and closes the distance in 3 long strides. Is everyone okay? Did you actually get them out? I nod, smiling. Went pretty smoothly, actually. Don't pretty smoothly me, he scolds. You were reckless. Those people aren't to be messed with. You should have waited for backup. What if something had gone wrong? Genuinely touched, I nod. You're right, teacher. My mistake, he sighs, shaking his head. You always cave this fast when you're wrong. It's impossible to actually stay mad at you. The mayor chuckles. Knowing one's mistakes and correcting them. That's basically the whole point, isn't it? Scolding becomes irrelevant after that. He glances at the building. Though it seems Director Gua made the trip for nothing. Hardly a wasted trip, says a tall, refined-looking man stepping forward. Director Gua. I've wanted to shut down these illegal collection rackets for ages. Just needed the right trigger. Between the mayor's involvement, their collusion with local district watch, and a confirmed kidnapping. This is exactly the cleanup opportunity I've been waiting for. He turns to me. And unless I'm mistaken, you're the prodigy lord with a 1.3-million-square-meter territory? No wonder the mayor personally showed up. Even I rarely get FaceTime with him this easily. And the second he heard about you, he insisted on coming himself and pulling in our elite unit. Some people really do have all the luck. Mr. Huang's face goes visibly uncomfortable at this. He leans over, whispering nervously. The testing crystal. Everything went fine with that, right? His heart is absolutely racing. His ability to even see the mayor today rests entirely on my territory claim. If the actual measurement comes back wrong. I smirk slightly. There was a small hiccup. His face drains of color instantly. The exact disaster he feared, manifesting in real time. And of course, despite trying to whisper, the mayor catches it. Something wrong with the testing crystal? Director Gua's attention snaps over too. Mr. Huang's mind goes completely blank. His entire reputation, my family's safety, the mayor's credibility, all of it hinges on this number being real. He exhales, resigned. Show it. Whatever happens, he's decided to face it head on. And as my homeroom teacher, take responsibility for shielding me as much as he can. It's the last thing he can really do for me here. Now, I ask. Now. All right, since he's asking, I comply. Even though personally, I think this isn't exactly the ideal venue. A flash of white light, and the testing crystal materializes in my hand. When the mayor first gave it to me, it was clear. Now, it's glowing gold, proof it's already been activated once. I read the displayed number, sigh dramatically, and say, only 10 million square meters, huh? Then I freeze. Wait. What? 10 million? I blink hard, staring at the crystal again, certain I misread it. It still says 10 million square meters. Crystal clear. No mistake. Director Gua, usually composed and dignified, actually stammers. Wait. Didn't we say 1.3 million? How is it? My parents and sister are equally frozen. 7 days ago, I told them 1.3 million square meters. When I said, small hiccup, a minute ago, they assumed the real number had shrunk, and their hearts had just dropped through the floor. Instead, the actual figure isn't smaller. It's nearly 8 times bigger. The mayor snatches the crystal out of my hand before I even register the motion. His voice carries barely contained excitement, edged with absolute authority. Not the place for this conversation. Come with me, my whole family, plus Mr. Huang, pile into the mayor's car. Wuji gets sent back to my territory for now. The drive is completely silent. The mayor doesn't say a word, which means nobody else dares speak either. We arrive at the mayor's residence in this strange, tense quiet, walk through gardens, a long corridor, a koi pond, and finally into an ivory-colored building. Click. The door locks behind us. The mayor visibly relaxes. This building has a soundproofing barrier. No one else is present. And no need to worry about cult surveillance either. Cult. Everyone's expression darkens instantly. In humanity's ongoing war against the calamity beasts, a small but real faction of humans has defected, worshippers who serve the beasts directly, working to help them conquer the world entirely. To them, powerful or high-potential lords are the single biggest obstacle to their goals. Established lords are usually too strong to target safely, which makes rising prodigies like me the obvious priority. And beyond that, they're known for senseless, ritualistic violence against ordinary civilians, harvesting blood, bone, and organs for their altars. That's the part that makes even non-lords go pale at the mention. The mayor, noticing the sudden tension, laughs and sets the testing crystal down on the center of the table. Why so serious, everyone? A result like this should have us celebrating, not panicking. The crystal gleams gold, 10 million square meters, glowing in dark gold text. Everyone's faces light up, even Director Gua and Mr. Huang. 10 million square meters. That's genuinely unheard of, Director Gua says, odd. Has to be a global first, the mayor smirks. Drop the has to be. It is a global first, Mr. Huang. Barely containing himself, asks, "So, the first-tier subsidy is locked in, right? There's a problem with that," the mayor says, shaking his head. Actually, a pretty big one. The first-tier subsidy is officially impossible for him to receive. What? My parents panic instantly. That can't be right, Mom blurts. Didn't you say 1 million square meters guarantees first tier? How does 10 million suddenly not qualify? Whatever's missing, tell us, we'll fix it, Dad adds frantically. It's not about missing anything, the mayor says, still shaking his head. It's that national law specifies. Any lord whose territory exceeds 5 million square meters automatically qualifies for the special tier subsidy instead. A what tier subsidy? My parents freeze. That sounds like it's somehow above first tier. Mr. Huang's brain short-circuits too. He's taught for years and never once heard of a tier above first. Director Guo bursts out laughing. Mayor, come on, don't just casually drop bombs like that. I was holding in a laugh the whole time. The mayor finally cracks, seeing my parents and Mr. Huang's blank stares. Sorry, I was just too excited, had to throw in a little joke. But the special tier subsidy is real for territories over 5 million square meters. It's just kept quiet because the government genuinely never expected anyone to actually hit that threshold. So, the subsidy is happening, my parents ask, still bracing for bad news. Completely, the mayor reassures. The crystal's already in my hands. I'll personally push the paperwork through. Expect it by tomorrow afternoon at the latest. That fast? My parents are stunned. Every article they'd read online estimated subsidy processing at a month minimum. Of course it's fast, Director Guo says. Your son just registered the single largest known territory on Earth. Calling him a top national protected asset wouldn't be an exaggeration. People at this level get expedited treatment as a matter of course. My parents clutch each other's hands, visibly overwhelmed. After years of crushing debt, still owing over 200,000, the idea of this finally lifting nearly has them shouting with relief right there at the table. They manage to hold it together, barely, given the company. Mr. Huang's practically vibrating. His student, the single greatest Lord Prodigy in recorded history. He starts mentally rewriting his entire life's purpose around having taught me, picturing my future as humanity's defender against the calamity beasts. Then he remembers the loose thread. Wait, earlier you mentioned a hiccup with the testing crystal. What was that about? Before I can answer, Director Guo jumps in. Obviously, he was setting up a surprise. Classic misdirection, the mayor laughs along. A surprise indeed. 1.3 million was already incredible, and the real number is 8 times bigger. If that's not a surprise, what is? Everyone laughs along. I laugh too, but mine's a little forced. Because the truth is, that wasn't a dramatic setup. The crystal genuinely glitched. I'd actually wanted it to measure my full planetary territory, but apparently the crystal caps out at 10 million square meters. Once it hits that number, it just stops updating, no matter how much real territory exists beyond it. And since every nation on Earth treats the crystal's reading as absolute ground truth, my actual planet-sized territory is now, officially, 10 million square meters. Nothing I say changes that. 0.10 million it is. Then, I think, internally shrugging. The maximum reward tiers already maxed out anyway. Doesn't change anything for me practically. I quietly abandon any plan to clarify the real number. So, can we go home now? Dad asks, eager to finally celebrate properly. Absolutely not, the mayor says immediately. Not just no on going home. All of you need to stay here, in this residence, for at least the next 2 days. That includes Teacher Huang and Director Guo. Director Guo nods like he expected this. Mr. Huang gets it instantly and explains to my parents. Zhou Yun's status has fundamentally changed now. He showed that crystal publicly, even briefly. That's exactly the kind of exposure cult elements watch for. Staying here is the safest option. Plus, as witnesses to all this, we'll all be getting background checked by the state too, the mayor confirms. Procedure aside, this calls for a real celebration. I'll have a couple tables set up here in the White Jade Pavilion. Modest setup, but the food and drink will be top quality, I promise. Modest turns out to mean low headcount, extremely high status. Beyond the mayor and Director Guo, we get the deputy mayor, the head of education, the finance director, the commerce director, basically every department head in the entire city, crammed into one small banquet. My parents and Mr. Huang are visibly losing their minds with nerves. These are people they've only ever seen on the news. But surprisingly, none of them act stuffy or formal. They're warm, casual, calling my parents, brother Zhou, and sister-in-law like decades-old friends. A few drinks in, my parents relax completely. My dad, sober for nearly 20 years, gets absolutely wasted. My mom, who never drinks, downs several full glasses of wine. My sister, sober but thoroughly spoiled with gifts, sits grinning behind a pile taller than she is, stars in her eyes. Mr. Huang, predictably, can't hold his liquor either, and ends up face down on the table muttering, "Thank you, director. I'll work hard. Won't let you down." Hick. We all wake up the next morning. I finally get real time to talk with my family, telling them everything from the past 7 days. When I summon Big Fire, Bear, Veggie 1, and Aishue to introduce them properly, my parents are visibly nervous around them. My sister, on the other hand, is instantly delighted and wants to play. That afternoon, the mayor brings official confirmation. My special tier subsidy is approved. 1 billion gold credits, landing in my account. My family will also be relocated to the capital, housed in the Forbidden City, with treatment equal to top national officials. My parents and sister are completely speechless. Overnight, their entire world just changed. But I can't fully enjoy it, because the mayor hands me something else, a golden token. Tomorrow's your trial day. This is your trial pass. It grants you direct access through the Golden Corridor. A senior lord will personally escort and protect you throughout. If you run into trouble, ask for help immediately. Don't try to be a hero. Unlike other participants, your top priority is simply staying safe. After a few more instructions, he leaves, and I'm left staring at the token with a tired smile. 18 years a commoner, and suddenly I get the full VIP treatment. Huh. I turn the token over. Everyone else gets silver. Mine's gold, real subtle, and a senior lord babysitting me the entire trial. I sigh. If they're intervening at the first sign of danger, is this even a real trial anymore? Might as well call it playtime. Still, I'm not exactly fragile either. The calamity beasts in this trial are a huge part of my plan. My militia and heroes desperately need real combat XP, and I'm not about to let government babysitting deny them that. 11 p.m. While normal people sleep, the official national 2026 Lord Network is buzzing. Trials tomorrow. I'm panicking. Same. Everyone's panicking. Relax. First real fight against a calamity beast. Being scared is the normal reaction. I'm chill though. Got our circle's top dog backing me up. Should be smooth sailing. Wait. You snag Goddess you? Yep. Cheater. Absolute cheater. Hey, it's officially sanctioned. Go get your own, if you can. Who's God Su? Oh, you're not in our circle, fair. God Su's our one. Hit level 5 on day 7. A genuine prodigy. Wait. Day 7. Did I read that right? Yep. Want to join the God Su fan club? We're recruiting. Nah, I'll stick with our circle's Brother Yin. Brother Yin? Who's that? Some random nobody comparing himself to God Su. LOL. What a basic name. Sounds like some no-name from the gutter. Yeah. Brother tier doesn't even compare to God tier. Brother Yun is our circle's one. He hit level 5 on day 6. What are you guys even talking about? Lying without even trying. God Su's day 7 level 5 was already the ceiling. Day 6. Sure, buddy. Funny how this amazing guy never even shows his face if he's so legendary. We've gotten 2 red packets off Brother Yun. Level 3 and level 5. What exactly are you questioning? Brother Yun saved my actual life. Watch your mouth. He's never done anything to you. He's just low-key, doesn't like attention. Doesn't mean he's not strong, understand? Oh, big talk. Guess we'll see tomorrow at the trial then, won't we? The argument escalates fast enough that a moderator just mutes the whole chat. Silence falls across the network. Meanwhile, in a private courtyard residence in the capital, Su Qingxue lies in bed, phone in hand, staring at the now-muted chat, muttering to herself, Brother Yun, hit level 5 on. Day 6. If this many people are saying it, there's a real chance it's true, but her brow furrows, irritation creeping in. Someone outleveled me. My territory's 1.24 million square meters. S- quality rating. How does some random Brother Yun outpace me? She sits up sharply, voice sharpening with competitive fire. Brother Yun, is it? If you're really that good, you'd better show up for tomorrow's. Trial. Let's see exactly what you're made of. Next morning, I show up at the Awakening Center with the other lords from my city, except my entourage is a little bigger than everyone else's. Mayor, deputy mayor, and 2 full district watch squads under Director Gua personally. People are staring hard. Honestly, I find it a bit much myself. The mayor's reasoning. Cult threats are everywhere and unpredictable, so no risks. Fair enough. I'm not exactly eager to bump into cultists either. 7 a.m. The teleportation circles fire up. Trial tokens grant access. Family members, up to 3, get viewing access to the spectator platform. My parents and sister head to a separate gate. I get teleported into a vast, sandy plain. About a kilometer out, a concrete spectator platform sticks out of the landscape. Probably where my family's watching from. Can they even see me from there? While I'm thinking that, I sidestep instinctively, and a hand swipes empty air right behind me. Whoa, nice reflexes, friend. The guy says, surprised. What's up? I ask flat. He points ahead. Just letting you know it's time to head in. Ah, thanks. Got distracted, slightly embarrassed. No worries. He grins, instantly familiar. Zhonglei, by the way. You, Zhou Yun. Zhou Yun, wait. Brother Yun? Your brother Yun, he nearly screams it. Heads turn instantly. Wait, the real brother Yun? We're seeing him in person? Has to be a coincidence. The real brother Yun wouldn't be in a regular line like this, right? Top performers go through the golden corridor, not the normal queue. Mid-debate, I quietly step out of the regular line and walk straight toward the golden corridor, jaws dropping behind me. The regular line stretches out of sight. The golden corridor? Completely empty. I pull out my golden token and disappear through the entrance, leaving a trail of stunned faces in my wake. He actually walked the golden corridor. It's really him? It's him. I literally just watched the Real Deal walk past and didn't even ask for a photo. What is wrong with me? There goes my chance at an autograph. Zhonglei's practically having a breakdown of regret. I was this close to teaming up with Brother Yun. This close. Then someone scoffs nearby. Puffed. Brother Yun. All that hype in the chat, and in person he's just mildly attractive. Nothing special. Someone agrees instantly. Not even close to Godsu. Completely different presence. Obviously, Godsu's literal capital city nobility, not some random nobody. Speaking of, has anyone even seen Godsu here? Nope. Weird, right? Big dramatic entrance planned? Nah. Someone with Godsu's status doesn't even bother with the corridor. Straight onto the trial transport. Probably already boarded. God SU swag. God SU forever. My defenders are visibly fuming, ready to escalate. When soldiers step in, please keep it quiet. No shouting. Argument defused before it could properly ignite. Right through the golden corridor, a stunning woman in a tight black leather suit, high ponytail, greets me. Zhou Yun, correct? I'm Gu Mingru, commander of the 1st Brigade, 4th Armored Division. Call me Sister Gu or Commander Gu. I'm personally responsible for your safety throughout this trial. Questions? I shake my head. The mayor already told me a senior lord would be assigned, so this isn't a surprise. She nods. Then let's board. Questions can wait till we're airborne. Boarding means a Calamity Beast armored military helicopter. A normal chopper reinforced with plating made from harvested Calamity Beast hides, bones, and cores. Only these can safely fly lords into trial zones. Inside, someone's already seated, a strikingly beautiful, very cold-looking girl. She glances at me once, then turns straight back to the window, apparently uninterested. Except internally, her brain is going absolutely haywire. If he's on the same flight as me, this has to be that Brother Yun guy. Huh, he's better looking than expected. Beat. Should I say hi first? No, he's my rival. Saying hi first makes me look weak. Beat. Fine, he should greet me first. Beat. A whole second's passed, and he hasn't said anything. Is he ignoring me on purpose? Beat. Wait, is he looking at me right now? Beat. Is something wrong with my outfit? Beat. He stopped looking? Seriously not going to say hi? That's so cold. Unbelievable. I settle in and notice a man in matching black leather lounging in the corner. I shut, clearly napping, or pretending to. My guess, the senior lord assigned to Ice Queen over there. Gu Mingru, also seated now, starts the briefing. Before we drop in, quick overview. Today's trial site is a buffer zone city called Mengshan. It was cleared once already this past month, So current threat level should be mostly F rank, mostly level 1, new spawns. The real challenge isn't strength, it's numbers. Should be manageable for anyone who hit level 5 during survival week. That said, don't get cocky. The lounging man sighs and picks up the explanation without opening his eyes. Kill Calamity Beasts for merit, tradable for building materials, Calamity Beast gear, even evolution stones. If you don't need any of that, find a safe spot on the outskirts and hide. Playing it safe as a rookie isn't shameful, but if you want serious merit, ranking, glory, head toward the city center. Density and threat level both scale up the deeper you go. Past F rank, you'll hit E rank. Survive that gauntlet, and there's a D rank boss waiting at the core. Kill it. You take first place this trial. Plus merit equivalent to taking down a level 50 B rank boss. Rookie exclusive perk, lucky you. Stop tempting them. Gumingru snaps. What? Just stating facts, he shrugs. Silence settles over the cabin after that, everyone retreating into their own thoughts. I close my eyes too, mentally reviewing trial info I'd already studied. Most of what they said is public knowledge, and I'd done my homework. For me, merit's the real priority. It outvalues straight credits by a mile. Most rookie lords trade it for basic materials, but the real value play is Calamity Beast gear, or, even better, evolution stones, exclusively available through the merit shop. Experience, needed. Evolution stones, needed. Ranking, genuinely don't care. My internal logic, my own territory's home to a literal solar bird and a fire dragon. Safety back home is temporary at best. I'll need to keep exploring, which means I need my militia and heroes leveled up as much as possible, fast. But the cult threat means going full power recklessly probably isn't smart either. Annoying, I mutter internally. Half an hour later, rotors spin up. We're moving. Meanwhile, at the spectator platform, the commentary booth rises into view. Good morning, families of our lords. I'm A's, alongside Bing Bing, bringing you full coverage of the Mengshan City trial. On the big screen now, you can see the transport choppers heading out and notice the lead aircraft's slightly different coloring. That's because it's carrying our two most promising new lords this cycle. Su Qingxue, daughter of the prestigious Su family in the capital, and Zhou Yun, a commoner academic prodigy from Qinghe City, territory. Details are classified, can't share those, sorry. Bing Bing. Even naming them outright feels a little risky, no? A's. We're good. This broadcast is family only, and security around the platform is locked down tight. 20 minutes later, the choppers reach Mengshan's outer perimeter. Jump! Gumingru calls, leaping out first. I follow without hesitation. Parachuting standard lord training, covered in school ages ago. White canopies bloom across the sky as 11,032 lords nationwide drop into their respective trial zones simultaneously. I land clean. Before I can even survey my surroundings, a swarm of gray lizard things rushes me. Ashen Louse Lizard. F-rank Calamity Beast. Level 1. Weak across every stat. No skills, no talent. Basically a hairless lizard that puffs out vision-blocking ash when killed. Perfect timing, I mutter, completely calm, raising a hand. Pippi Dragon materializes in front of me. There's an iron rule with XP gain. The more visually similar the killer is to the target, the more XP earned. Pippi's body shape is over 70% similar to these lizard things, just way bigger. Ideal matchup. Roar, Pippi's thrilled to be summoned, until he spots the swarm of ugly gray lizards charging him, and his good mood evaporates instantly. Roar, he stomps one stocky claw down, and a familiar pale red ring of light expands outward from him. Crimson Flame Domain.